A very pleasant morning to one and all. Never give up, have hope, expect only the best, and take action to get it. It is my great pleasure to welcome you all to the 2-day conference on Opportunities for Science Education in Industry, Research and Academics, organized by NIRMALA College for Women, Coimbatore, in association with Vijnana Bharati, New Delhi. And everyone who has this hope in him purifies himself, just as he is pure. 1 John chapter 3, verses 3. For every dream in our heart, God gives us inspiration. For every hope we seek, God gives us unexpected miracles. To witness miracles unfold in your experience, count your blessings and be thankful. Let us invoke God's blessings through a prayer song. I now welcome Mrs. Daisy Tangamal, Assistant Professor from the Department of History, to lead us through the prayer song.
I come before you today, and there's just one thing that I wanna say. Thank you, Lord. Thank you, Lord, for all you've given to me, for all the blessings that I cannot see. Thank you, Lord. Thank you, Lord. With a grateful heart, with a song of praise, with an outstretched arm, I'll bless your name. Thank you, Lord. I just wanna thank you, Lord. Thank you, Lord. I just wanna thank you, Lord. Thank you, Lord. Thank you, Lord.
Thank you, ma'am. Small cheer and great welcome makes a merry beginning. I humbly invite Dr. U. Mary, Associate Professor and Head, Department of Mathematics, and the Dean of Student Affairs, NIRMALA College for Women, to welcome the guest of honor, dignitaries, delegates, and all the participants.
A warm good morning to this august body of learned members. Development at any phase is always linked with technology, and technology happens when there is advancement in science. Hence, science, technology, and development are all proportional to each other. Science and technology have made life a lot easier. Without proper implementation of science and technology, no nation could grow higher. We, as citizens of the nation and who hold equal responsibility for the growth, should equip our youth with all possible facilities for their research thirst. We must also support and motivate them, as the future of our nation is in their hands. With the knowledge of science and technology, they could get our nation to more advanced levels than what it is today. Keeping this in mind, NIRMALA College for Women and Vijnana Bharati jointly present 2 days national conference on opportunities of science education in industry, research and academics, which will pave path to move towards growth. At the outset, it gives me great pleasure to welcome each one of you most cordially to this 2 day conference, which is the culmination of the enormous collective effort put in by both the institutions as a whole with the choicest blessings of the Lord Almighty. I take the pleasant pride to welcome our keynote speaker of the day, Sri Jayant Sahasrabuddhe, National Organizing Secretary, Vijnana Bharati, New Delhi. Sri Jayant Sahasrabuddhe was born and brought up in Mumbai. and completed his college studies from Mumbai University. He was interested in nuclear physics and worked at Baba Atomic Research Center as a scientist for a short time. Even as a youngster, the desire to work selflessly for the country made him to leave his job and to become a full-time social worker. Ever since then, he has held various responsibilities in Maharashtra and Goa before being given the responsibility of being the National Organizing Secretary of Vijnana Bharati, which is one of the largest voluntary science organizations in the world. He is a much respected speaker, a learned personality, and a great asset not only to Vijnana Bharati but also to our country. On behalf of both the organizations, I welcome you, sir. I place on record my pleasant welcome to all the other resource persons. Dr. Ranjana Agarwal, Director, CSIR, NIScPR, Dr.P. Siddhuraju, Professor of Environmental Sciences, Bharathiar University, Coimbatore, Dr. A.KALYANA Sundaram, Associate Professor of Entomology, Tamilnadu Agricultural University, and Thanjavur State Science Council Member, Vijnana Bharati, and Mr. Sendil, Managing Director, Gayatri Group of Companies, Coimbatore, for having accepted our invitation to enlighten us on the specific topics and sparing their valuable time for the benefit of the young generation. I also welcome all the members of the panel discussion who are about to share their knowledge and experience with all of us tomorrow. I wholeheartedly welcome Dr. Ms. R. Mary Josephine, Principal, St. Joseph's College, Tirupur, and State Science Council member Vijnana Bharati, who has left no stone unturned for the upliftment of the student community. I extend a warm welcome to all the teacher and student participants for this conference and wish and assure them that this conference deliberation would surely be a curtain raiser for their future endeavors. I deem it a pleasant entitlement to welcome our Secretary, Reverend Sister Dr. Ruby Alangara Mary, our Principal, Reverend Sister Dr. Helen, our Vice Principal, Reverend Sister Dr. Mary Fabiola, our Controller of Examinations, Reverend Sister Dr. Imelda Mary, Dean of Academics and the convener of this conference, Mrs. J. Valencia Kamal, IQAC Coordinator, Dr. Pauline Vasanthi Joseph, Arivial Sangam Office Bearers, Sri Gopal, State Organizing Secretary, Sri B. Krishnamurthy, State President, Sri Parthasarathi, Vice President to this conference. Finally, yet importantly, I welcome our teaching fraternity and student participants to this platform. To conclude, I welcome one and all. Thank you.
Thank you so much, ma'am. I'm profusely elated to take this opportunity to invite our principal, Reverend Sister Dr. Helen, a person of distinct vision, a fountain of illuminating ideas, an idol of knowledge and experience and inspiration to all of us to felicitate the gathering.
Thank you, Divya, for your good words. The rain and snow come down from the heavens and stay on the ground to water the earth. They cause the grain to grow, producing seed for the farmer and bread for the hungry. I like to quote these verses from the Holy Bible, from the book of Isaiah, chapter 55, verse 10. Good morning to Mr. Jayant, Mr. Sabanayam, members of VIBHA, resource persons, professors, teachers, and my dear students. We are living in this wonderful world and enjoying the marvelous creation of the Almighty, and science plays a crucial role in making our life very comfortable, enjoyable, making our work faster, accurate, and whatnot. Science is involved in every activity of ours. In fact, science is blended in our life to a very great extent. Science is involved in cooking, eating, breathing, driving, playing, so on. The fabric we wear, the brush and paste we use in the morning, the shampoo, the oil we apply, everything is the consequence of advancement of science. Life is unimaginable without all these as it has become a necessity. Science is one of the most important channels of knowledge. It has a specific role as well as a variety of functions for the benefit of our society, like creating new knowledge, improving education, and increasing the quality of our lives. Through science and technology, it is easier for inhabitants to communicate with the other people around the globe. It is also significant in the field of business because transactions and other events are done through the computer. Science and technology enable every people to live in an easy and modern way of life. It is a welcome move that Vijnana Bharati is in the noble task of creating awareness about science education among the students of schools and colleges and at the entire community at large. I would like to congratulate Mrs. Falansha Kamal, Dean of Academics, Head of the Department of Commerce, a vibrant, committed, a dedicated teacher, very popular among her students for her excellent teaching techniques, the organizers of this consortium, faculty of NIRMALA College, and members of VIBHA, and in particular, Dr. Mary Josephine, former Dean of Academics and Associate Professor of Botany, and currently appointed as the Principal of St. Joseph's College for Women, Tripur, for her hard, very efforts taken in arranging this two-day program and wishing you success for the good conduct of the program. I wish all the participants a fruitful and informative sessions on both the days, and my appeal to you to make the best use of the opportunity provided to you. Opportunities are always at our door, in our hands. Our part is to make use of it. So, my dear staff and students, kindly attend the program and see that there is an outcome in our lives and for the society. Let science help and respond to the societal needs and global challenges. Wish you all the best and God bless you.
Thank you so much, sister, for your kind words. Successful people build each other, they motivate, inspire, and value each other. We have one such eminent personality among us today. May I now invite Shri Jayant Sahasrabuddhe, National Organizing Secretary, Vijnana Bharati, New Delhi, to deliver the keynote address. Over to you, sir.
Namaste. At the outset, I would like to extend my pranams to all respected teachers and all other dignitaries who have joined this program. Also, I extend my wishes and greetings to all the participants who have joined this August gathering. So it's a great privilege for me to be a part of this August gathering, and I should extend and I should be thankful to you to invite me to address this gathering at this fine morning. I know all of you have taken great efforts to organize this two-day conference with a very important theme, that what kind of opportunities are available in science education for industries, research, and so many other things which we come across in our routine life. As just now, our respected principal has mentioned that science has brought to us great comforts in our daily life. And science is so crucial to lead our life with great conveniences. It has brought in great things which could not be thought of in yesteryears. And with science as a great tool in our hand, we are marching forward in future for more comforts and great things in our lives. But one more aspect of science we need to consider, which is more profound than any other many things regarding science, is every human being has born with great curiosity in mind about the ultimate truth. And science actually helps us in unfolding that path towards ultimate truth. So that is one of the greatest advantage of the knowledge of science, that we all feel and we are all confident that through science we will be able to solve the mystery about this creation. So science is very important, very crucial in humans' life. So let us keep this in mind, that science is actually a guiding light in everyone's life. But we need to give great consideration to this fact that how to make best use of this greatest tool of every human being, and how everyone who is primarily associated with science can make use of its strength for betterment of societal life. As all of us know that I am a volunteer of a Vijnana Bharati. Vijnana Bharati is a Swadeshi science movement working in our country, and Vijnana Bharati is also trying to organize all our Indian brothers and sisters who are outside our country and specifically working in the domain of science and technology. So let us understand the goal and objectives of Vijnana Bharati. All of us know that we are all set to celebrate 75th year of our country's independence. The coming 15th of August is going to be the 75th day of independence, and the year which is followed by this 15th of August will be the 75th year of independence of our great country. We need to understand this fact that though we are independent at this moment, and I think all of us who are attending this program, we are fortunate enough to take birth in independent India. At this momentous time, we need to pay tribute to our great patriots who have dedicated everything and best of their life for the freedom of this great country. And also at this moment, we should try to understand what was the vision of these enlightened patriots. So let us try to understand that what kind of profound vision they have given us for Swatantra or independent Bharat. So we need to understand, first of all, that those who tried to attack or invade our country, they were trying to obliterate the identity of this country. Their entire effort was to erase or destroy the identity of India, that is Indianness. So the entire struggle was carried out to safeguard or protect this identity. So the best and appropriate word for this entire struggle is a struggle for Swatantrata. It was not just independence or freedom, because the exact meaning of independence or freedom is mukti. It was not just mukti from the fetters of the bondage of foreign rule, but actually everyone who did sacrifice for the Swatantrata of this country was actually trying to safeguard the identity of this great nation. So what was done by all these great patriots in those days, we need to revisit and we need to understand. Then only we will be able to fulfill their dreams. We will be able to realize their dreams of Swatantra Bharat. And that is what we are supposed to do in our lives, being Indians. I would like to share one great thing with you. In our freedom struggle or struggle of Swatantrata, many people tried to protect national identity of our country, and they started number of academic institutions to propagate Indian identity, nationalism through education. And one of such effort was done by Pandit Madan Mohan Malviya, and he started a best university of our country way back in 1916, and that is popularly known as BHU or Banaras Hindu University. And he did invite Dr. Jagdish Chandra Basu. He is popularly known as the first Indian scientist in Galilean tradition of science. So Pandit Madan Mohan Malviya acknowledged the importance of science, and he did invite Dr. Jagdish Chandra Basu to inaugurate this great university, a center of nationalistic education. At that time, when Dr. Jagdish Chandra Basu delivered a speech, he said, "We must strive hard to make our country the intellectual leader of the world. Through science, we should make all kinds of efforts to the advancement of knowledge in this world." So that vision was given to all of us by Dr. Jagdish Chandra Basu. What was his vision? The same vision was reiterated by one of our greatest scientists produced by this country, and he was none other than Dr. Abdul Kalam. I was fortunate enough to attend one of the convocation addresses given by Dr. Abdul Kalam in 2006 in one of the universities at Pune. And at that time, we all know that he was actually trying to give all of us a great vision called Vision 2020. He initiated and actually formulated that vision in the year 1998, and he started propagating ideas about glorious India, which all of us are supposed to prepare our country by 2020. And while delivering those ideas, he actually delivered one very crucial and important sentence at that point of time. He said, making great appeal to all youngsters sitting in front of him, he said, "Let us bring back the days of Nalanda." And these are the exactly similar words delivered by Dr. Acharya Jagdish Chandra Basu at the time of inauguration of BHU. So we can understand the same thread of which was initiated by our visionary scientists in the era of colonial period. It was taken forward by scientists of our country, of free country, India. And Dr. Abdul Kalam reiterated the same idea in front of youngsters of our country. He said, "Let us bring back the days of Nalanda" means what? Let us make our country once again an intellectual leader of the world. And Jagdish Chandra Basu as well as Dr. Abdul Kalam was of the opinion that only through science and technology we will be able to make our country as intellectual leader in the Committee of Nations. So let us understand this vision. And the origin of Vijnana Bharati lies in this idea. that how we will be able to transform our country in such a manner that entire humanity in this world will again start respecting our country as intellectual leaders of the world. Once upon a time, we were leading entire world in the domain of scientific knowledge. Many of you might have heard this great quote by none other than Dr. Einstein. Once he said, we are all, we should owe to India because Indians have given us a great knowledge of counting. And he said further that without which this great development of science would not have been possible. So Einstein was perfectly knowing that his ancestors, they were not having that kind of knowledge of counting. Counting means which is very much related to mathematics. An entire world knows, not only Einstein, that the greatest gift to the entire mankind by India is zero. And not only zero, but the decimal system. And because of these two greatest gifts, Einstein says that great development of science was possible. And not only this, the greatest gifts in the domain of mathematics, but there are many other things where India has contributed for the development of scientific knowledge since ages in this world. So let us try to understand this fact that our country was once upon a time leading this domain of science, and it has given everything free to this entire world. As Jagdish Chandra Basu used to say in a very rightful manner, according to the traditions of our country, he used to say that we are not supposed to sell knowledge which is generated by any Indian. So that was his firm opinion. So he was actually not interested in getting intellectual property right for his discovery. Then Swami Vivekananda persuaded him. He could convince him that yes, you need to understand the trading mentality of Western people. They will try to make use of your scientific discovery for making money. That should not happen. So you need to get patent for your discovery. But the mindset of Indians is like this. This is our character, the character of all Indians. And that is nothing but our identity. So Indians were shining in the domain of science and technology all the while in this history of the world. So we need to understand this. But today we are struggling to make a great place for our country in the domain of science and technology. And we need to understand this also. The many stalwarts in the domain of science and technology who did a lot of science, though we were ruled by foreign people, imperial crown, they did so many things, facing all kind of adverse situations. They could excel in the field of science and technology, and they could display this intellectual strength of Indians to the entire world. And we have naturally taken that kind of legacy from these stalwarts. And immediately after independence, our country tried to build great strength of ours in the field of science and technology. And all of us are very much aware about India's advancements in science and technology. In many fields, in many advancing domains of science and technology, our country, our scientists have contributed profoundly. Take every domain of science, even in modern scientific streams, our people are very much engaged with all kind of research endeavors, and they are contributing a lot. And because of that, we could develop our strengths through science in different domains like industries, academic field, and many others. So we need to understand, in today's world, in this age of science, we need to put a lot of efforts to develop science on our own in our country. There is a great message of our freedom struggle for all of us, and the same message was reiterated by our Prime Minister recently when he used a word Atmanirbharta or self-reliance. So there is a great task to all of us who are working in the field of science, that how through science we will be able to make our country self-reliant in all aspects of life. It's a great challenge, but we need to take up that challenge, and we need to take great efforts to make our country self-reliant in all aspects of life. So that is the greatest challenge which we are facing at this point of time. And we all know that Indians are capable of taking up such challenges because of our sheer intellectual capacity. So Swadeshi science movement with the name Vijnana Bharati is actually working with this goal, that how through science we can make our country Atmanirbhar. But we need to understand this fact that self-reliance cannot be achieved without self-confidence. We cannot become Atmanirbhar without Atmavishwas, that is self-confidence. So first of all, to become Atmanirbhar or self-reliant, we need to build that self-confidence in every individual Indian. That is what is required. And Vijnana Bharati as a Swadeshi science movement is engaged in developing that confidence in all Indians, specifically in the context of science and technology. The great imperial rule by British people made us believe, unfortunately, that we do not have capacity or reasoning kind of ability to do science, but that is not correct. That last rule by British people was actually trying to destroy that confidence of our people. They were trying to impose wrong things on our minds. They tried to convince us that all Indians were living like in the hell with great superstitions in their life. They were regressive in their thought processes, but that is not so. We need to understand this fact that first non-European person who could receive Nobel Prize in the domain of science was Dr. Chandrasekhar Venkatraman. The first non-European scientist who could excel and who can be named as a scientist in a very particular manner was Dr. Jagdish Chandra Basu. All these Europeans were taken by great surprise because of the achievements of these two great Indians. And they could prove that yes, Indians are at par with all Europeans. Even Indians can excel in the domain of science. We need to understand that spirit of these scientists. Even in that era of adverse conditions, they could excel greatly in the domain of science. And that was possible because of the great confidence they were having with them. So we need to understand their spirit, their confidence. We should not lose our place in this world just because of not having that kind of confidence. All these great people have displayed or showcased the greatest intellectual strengths of Indian minds. So having understood that, we should try to do science in a very talented manner, in a very creative manner, so that we can actually contribute to the generation of knowledge. All of us know that in this great history of humanity, the one lesson we can learn is everyone, every individual, every human being respects knowledge like anything. And the one who produces that knowledge is given great respect. So, once upon a time, India was also having that kind of status in the world. So now it is our responsibility to bring back or regain that status as an intellectual leader of the world. And I think key lies with science and technology. So I think it is a great task for all of us, and we are all ready to take up that challenge. And with that thing in mind, with great confidence, I'm sure and I'm very much confident that in next few years or in few decades, we can very well see that our country has regained that status through the development of science and technology on our own in our country. So Vijnan Bharati is working with this great objective in mind. We all know that Vijnan Bharati has taken up or has initiated great many activities with this singular goal in mind. Just I would like to give few examples over here and how people in our country can contribute to the development of our country through Vijnan Bharati, being volunteers of this great Swadeshi science movement. Recently, Vijnan Bharati has initiated a platform, a global platform with a name GIST, G-I-S-T. GIST is an acronym. Each letter stands for one word. Like G is global, I is Indian, ST means scientists and technocrats. It is a platform of Indian scientists and technocrats, not only in India, but outside India also. So we are actually making an appeal to Indian diaspora working in the field of science and technology, that those Indians, brothers and sisters who are working in different places around the world, they have gained great knowledge. Through their sheer talent, they have contributed to the advancement of science and technology, and through this, they have acquired great skills in science and technology. So being Indians, how they will be able to contribute for the development of their own motherland. So that is an appeal by Vijnan Bharati to all our sisters and brothers living outside India. And now we have started chapters of GIST in 3 major Western countries of the world. The fine and most great chapter is there in America. Around 300 Indian brothers and sisters living in America for almost few decades. They have joined this platform with a great wish and great thing in their mind, idea in their mind, that how through their knowledge and skills, they will be able to contribute to the development of their own country. Similarly, we have formed chapters in UK as well as Germany. So with these people, those who are living outside India, once Dr. Mashelkar said very nicely, he put it in rightful words. He said that you can take Indians out of India, but you cannot take India out of Indians. So he said we need to make an appeal to these great Indians so that they can come with their knowledge and skill and contribute to the development of India. Through this GIST forum recently, we have initiated a different kind of revolution with a name Ahara Kranti. We all know that in this period of pandemic, everybody is talking about building immunity in every single human being. That is the only bulwark which can protect us from any kind of attack from outside. So immunity level of each person should be taken to a newer height. That is what is required. But through simple food habits, we can build that immunity. That is the simple answer for that great challenge. So nowadays, in the domain of modern science, people are talking about a concept called as food as medicine. Or people say that one needs to eat right. Means what? We need to consume our food in a scientific manner. We need to understand science behind consumption of food. What is to be taken at what time, in what way, how we need to process our food so that we can get maximum benefit out of that consumption of food. So many such aspects are there. We need to think about food security of our country. So considering many such aspects of this one domain called as food, Vijnana Bharati and GIST Forum has initiated and launched this program called as Ahar Kranti. And we are getting good response not only from different parts of our country, but from different parts of this world. People are really interested in knowing what kind of stuff is there in this program called as Ahar Kranti. They want to know that, yes, what is the science behind the food? And we all know that this Ahar Kranti is thinking of bringing about great change in our food habits. We need to have rightful food habits. And there are many people who are ready to contribute with their knowledge and skill for this program called as Ahara Kranti. So this is one of the initiatives of Vijnana Bharati. And there are many others. In 2015, Vijnana Bharati, with the idea in mind that we need to celebrate science, there is a great task which all of us are engaged with, is how to take science to every single individual in our country. And science should not be transformed as a serious subject, but people should enjoy science. So Vijnana Bharati, having this idea in mind, we thought that there is no festival of science in our country. So Vijnana Bharati put forward this idea, and it was taken up by Ministry of Science and Technology. And Ministry of Science and Technology and Vijnana Bharati together thought of organizing this festival of science, where all of us will come together and celebrate science. We will enjoy science. And with this great celebration, we will be able to take science to every common person of our country. So with this idea in mind, we initiated this program in the year 2015. It is a collaborative program of Vijnana Bharati and Ministry of Science and Technology of Government of India. And since 2015, this journey of India's first ever science festival has started. Every year we organize this festival. Even in this period of pandemic, we could organize this festival through digital platforms. And to our great surprise, more than 1 lakh people participated in this festival of science of our country. That is a unique example of scientific festival around the world, because in no such festival people with such great numbers have participated before. So It is a kind of unprecedented program which Vijnan Bharati could organize in collaboration with Ministry of Science and Technology. And under one umbrella, we could organize 40 different events. We could select 40 dimensions of science and technology, and we could bring in lot many experts, not only in India but from abroad, to be a part of this great festival. And a great number of people have shown interest and they have participated in this program. So Vijnan Bharati is trying to take science to every Indian with great celebration. So with this idea that science is supposed to be celebrated, it should not remain as a great serious topic. So Vijnan Bharati is trying to do this kind of festival in our country. And this is for the first time Vijnan Bharati could do it. So there are many such programs like this, touching different aspects of our life. Like I have mentioned about food, then I have mentioned about celebrating science, and there are many other things. Recently, we have initiated that how science and performing arts can come together, because all scientific principles can be expressed through creative way in performing arts domain. So we can make use of performing arts to spread science. That is another initiative of Vijnan Bharati. There are many such things. We should need to think about history of science in the world and what was happening in our country's bygone era in the domain of science. So many such aspects have been taken up by Vijnan Bharati to propagate science and develop scientific attitude in our country so that people can lead comfortable as well as meaningful life. That is what is required. Only comforts in life will not bring in great meaning to our life. But if we want to make our life more meaningful, we need to understand the ultimate truth of this creation. So Vijnan Bharati is actually taking all kind of efforts, not only to make comfortable life for all our Indians, but the life should be meaningful for all our Indians. And as all of us know that ours is a not selfish society. We have a capacious mind being Indians. So Indians from great times have already said that Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam, this entire world is like a family. That is what we think. So that shows the capacious mind of Indians. We are trying to embrace everyone in this world with great love and affection. So that is the goal of India. We are trying to take entire world at one single point, and we should consider this entire humanity as a single family. So that is the great identity of India. And Vijnan Bharati is actually trying to realize this great dream through science and technology. So that is what, in brief, as an introduction of Vijnan Bharati to all of you. And I think with this brief introduction, there will be a great curiosity in everyone's mind about to know more and more about Vijnan Bharati and how we can volunteer ourselves for the service of our motherland. So namaste, and thanks for giving me opportunity to introduce Vijnan Bharati to all of you.
Thank you so much, sir, for the phenomenal keynote address. I truly express my gratitude for accepting our invitation and taking time among your busy schedule to deliver the keynote address. On behalf of the organizing committee, I wholeheartedly thank you for the same. Your speech was incredibly informative and interesting. Sir, you indeed provoke the responsibility of self reliance, Atmanirbhar, and sustained efforts, Atma Vishwas, among the young scientists of our country as we are about to celebrate the 75th year of Indian independence. And a heartfelt thank for enlightening us on the various initiatives undertaken by Vijnana Bharati to celebrate science. Thank you so much, sir. Let us move on to the technical session of the two-day conference on opportunities for science education in industry, research, and academics. Participants, kindly note, due to unavoidable reason, there is a change in the order of the technical session today. Today's technical sessions will be presided over by Dr.P.SIDDHURAJU, followed by Dr. Ranjana Agarwal, followed by Dr. A.KALYANA Sundaram. May I now invite Dr. Francina Mary, Assistant Professor from the Department of Geography, to introduce Dr. P. Siddharaju, Professor of Environmental Science, Bharathiar University, Coimbatore.
On behalf of NIRMALA College for Women, I welcome Dr. P. Siddhuraju, Professor and Head, Department of Environmental Science, Bharathiar University. Dr. Siddhuraju completed his undergraduate course in botany from Gobi Arts and Science College, his master's degree from NIRMALA University, and his MPhil and PhD from Bharatiar University. Prior to his current posting, he has worked in several institutions in different capacities. He was a CSIR Research Associate in the Department of Botany of Bharatiar University. He has won several fellowships. To name a few, a visiting scientist fellowship at Institute of Feed Science, Jiaxing University, China. Alexander owned Humboldt postdoctoral fellowship at the University of Copenhagen, Germany. Postdoctoral fellowship by the Spanish Ministry of Education and Science at the Institute of Del Frio. His work overseas includes a postdoctoral research scientist post in the Department of Metabolism and Nutrition in the Spanish National Research Council in Madrid, Spain. Alexander von Humboldt postdoctoral and also senior postdoctoral research scientist in the Department of Animal Nutrition and Aquaculture in the University of Copenhagen, Germany. After that, he worked as a senior scientist in the same department. In India, he served as a lecturer and head in charge of Department of Biochemistry, PGP College of Arts and Science, Namakkal. As a lecturer in the Department of Biotechnology, Katpagam Arts and Science College, Coimbatore. As a guest lecturer in the Department of Botany of Bharathiar University, and later as a lecturer in the Department of Biotechnology of Bharathiar University. He joined the Department of Environmental Studies of Bharathiar University in 2012, and since 2016, he has been the head of the Department of Environmental Studies of Bharathiar University. Dr. Siddhuraju is a member of Board of Studies and a question paper setter for the postgraduate courses. He has been the coordinator for refresher courses and was a member of the DST Pursue Phase 1 project implementing group. He has also been on several committees like the Standing Committee on Academic Affairs, NAC Committee, etc. He has completed 6 projects and has ongoing project. He has a research guide for and he has several publications to his credit. He has publication in 95 international journals, 3 national journals, and a book chapter, and has presented papers in several national and international conferences. He has almost 5,000 Scopus citations and 9,500 Google Scholar citations. We are privileged to have such an eminent guest today, and on behalf of the college, I welcome you, sir.
Thank you very much, madam. Thank you very much for the introduction. Thank you so much for the management and the principal and the coordinator and the respective fellow colleagues and professors. So now, madam, excuse me, madam. Hello, madam.
Sir, sir, yes, sir.
Yes, madam. BPT is there. So,
Yes, yes, sir.
how
Sir,
I can
sir, if not, can you please send us through the mail, sir?
to
There's
the
a
mail?
mail
Yeah.
ID in the, yes, sir. There's a mail ID in the chat box, sir.
Which mail ID?
Sir, I'll just post it in the chat box, sir. 1 minute, sir.
Chat box, eh? Okay.
Yes, yes, sir. In the private chat, sir.
Okay.
Yeah. Sir,
This
I've
one, yeah?
posted. Yeah, yes, sir.
Okay, okay.
Can you please send it through the mail, sir?
Okay.
Yes,
I
yes,
can
sir.
send.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir. Sir, we have not yet received the mail, sir.
I will
Sir,
send you.
yes,
Is
yes,
it
yes,
passed?
sir.
Madam, I already sent it again.
Yes,
Just
sir.
I
I'll just
posted.
check. Yes, sir. I'll
Okay.
just check now, sir.
Okay.
So we have received the mail, sir.
Madam?
We have received the mail, sir.
Oh, okay, thank you, thank you.
We
Now
shall
you are
host
going
it.
to display here, yeah?
Yes,
Yeah.
yes, yes, sir.
Because I'm not able to hear
Yeah,
you, I'm not
yeah,
able to do it here
yes,
because
yes,
under your control. Okay.
yes, sir. We'll host it, sir.
No, no, yeah, yeah. So then now you can display, and then it will be more convenient
Yes,
for me.
yes, sir. Yes. Excuse me, sir. We have
No,
shared the
thank you.
screen. Yeah.
Thank you, madam.
Thank you.
Thank you so
Thank you,
much.
sir.
It's
Thank you so
coming.
much.
So you have to operate, yeah, one by one slice. I'm not able to do it, isn't it?
Yes, sir.
Please, the next slide, madam. Hello. Yeah. Okay. Okay. So good morning to everybody. So now I am going to talk about this utilization of resources which are available in the university for the welfare and progress of these students and scholars. So first we can just overlook about this university. University is a place where inquiry is pushed forward and discovery is verified and perfected and rashness rendered innocuous and error exposed by the collision of mind with mind and knowledge with knowledge. So that is the platform. What we are going to learn, that is the things, mind with mind and knowledge with knowledge. It is a place where the professors become eloquent and is a missionary and a preclude, displaying his science in its more complete and most winning form, pouring it forth with seal of enthusiasm and lighting his own love of it in the best of his hearers. It is the place where the catechist makes good his ground as he goes, trading in the truth day by day into the ready memory and wetting and tightening it into the expanding ratio. The next one. Please, next one, madam. It is a place which living the admiration of young by its celebrity. That is the more important one. Kindle the affections of the middle-aged by its beauty. Rivets the fidelity of the world by its association. It is a seat for wisdom, definitely. Light of the world, a minister of your faith, and the alma mater of the rising generation. Such is a university in its idea and in its purpose. The university stands for humanism, for tolerance, for reason, for progress, for the adventure of the ideas, and for the search for truth and realism. It stands for the onward march of the human races towards even higher objectives. If the universities discharge their duty adequately, then it is well with the nation and the people. Diversity and inclusiveness are the most important features of a university. Next, please. So, with this idea, with these perspectives, what are all the resources or generated or being generated and available in the esteemed institutions and the university? In educational institutions, the members need to understand the impact of resources in enriching the system of education. That's the purpose, whole idea. In order to achieve educational goals and augment the system of education, it is necessary to manage. We should work with this system or under the system, within the system. It is necessary to manage and utilization of resources in an effective manner. That is more important one as well as concern the resource availability and the utilization in the higher education system, particularly in the university and the institutions. The important resources that need to be taken into consideration are teaching, learning resources, human resources, financial resources, and physical resources. These are all the important resources should be considered and take it into consideration for achieving the or promoting the students and scholars in higher form. So that's the teaching learning resources, human resources, financial resources, and physical resources. Teaching learning resources are regarded as the teaching learning materials. What are all the materials we are providing? The teachers, respective professors, faculty members, beloved scientists, those who are providing the material is more effective for the students in terms of learning, and what effectiveness or what kind of mannerism they are following the teaching is also included in the part of the learning, even it is more realism. The educators need to ensure that they make use of appropriate teaching learning resources in accordance to the grade level of students. That's also more important. That's very, very important to we have to ensure. So this is the appropriate teaching learning resources in accordance to the grade levels of students. This is the concepts of the teaching learning resources. Human resources are the individual another aspects. So teaching learning is different, and the human resources are the individual person. The individuals need to work continuously towards upgradation of their skills and abilities. That's the things what that's why they are putting the second step. First step, teaching and learning. We have to learn. We have to learn from our beloved teachers, beloved professors, beloved scientists. Then we have to equip ourselves as a potential human resource to serve for the nation and society in large scale. That's why they have placed in the second stage, because we are human. We have to learn from the learned professors and active scientific group and scientific community. The individuals needs to work continuously. Education is the continuous process. The individuals needs to work continuously towards upgradation of their skills and abilities. That is true. We have to equip, and what is going on latest, we have to add with reference to the subject and equip ourselves and transform from the higher education forum to the society via beloved students and scholars, skilled scholars. Next stage is financial resources or the monetary resources, compulsory resources. Then physical resources are the elements of the environmental conditions, the educational institution. That also infrastructure. Physical resources or the elements, components of the environmental conditions of the educational institution is absolutely necessary to execute all these aforesaid programs. For example, these include playground, laboratory facilities, technologies, infrastructure, and so forth. The main areas are types of resources, influencing education, management of physical resources, augmenting the capabilities of information technologies, facilities, and the limitations in resource utilization. Next. Yeah. Now, with this background, with these objectives, with this whole aim, different components placed in the university level. So school, departments, laboratory, and all so on. So first we can see, for example, in our university, schools, management schools, biotechnology and genetic engineering, chemical sciences, commerce, computer science and engineering, economics, educational studies, English and other foreign languages, life sciences, mathematics and statistics, physical sciences, social sciences, Tamil and other Indian languages. These are all the major schools they have established. Under this, different with related to the subject department have been established with reference to the subject. For example, for here, Bharathiar School of Management and Entrepreneurial Development, Biotechnology, Microbial Biotechnology, Biochemistry, Chemistry, Commerce, Computer Applications, Information Technology, Computer Science, Economics, Econometrics, Communication of Media Studies, Educational Technology, Education, Extension Career Guidance and the Students' Welfare, Physical Education, Botany, Bioinformatics, the next. Environmental sciences, zoology, human genetics and molecular biology, textiles and apparel design, mathematics, statistics, applied mathematics, physics, medical physics, nanoscience and technology, electronics and instrumentation, social work, sociology and population studies, psychology, women studies, library sciences, Tamil, history, other languages as well. And apart from that, we are also having this DRDO BU, Center for Life Sciences under Ministry of Defense, Government of India. Here, this center is supporting for all the departments, mostly the science department, almost all the department they are supporting along with this equipments which are available and research expertise which are available with not only this center but also other centers in center from other centers from throughout India. So they are supporting, especially for the research forum. It's now, with this subject wise, they are establishing very strongly with these things in the university level. Then, what are all the resources? This is more important. So, the infrastructure facilities under this central library source. This is a very important source for equip ourselves in higher education or research, whatever may be. So, here, what are all the source which more reliable for the students in terms of learning as well as they carry out the research and equip themselves in skill based knowledge and practical knowledges. So here textbooks, that is more important one. Undergraduate programs, they need first must they must learn about these basics and fundamental of the respective subjects. So they should understand, and then they have to learn more things. In addition, if they are having, they want to need more information, they have to go for the reference books. This is the next source. So textbooks, reference books, then monographs, and what is the latest information from published journals and other important books and all these things. That's the monographs and proceedings of the conference and symposium. So what is the latest? The time to time they are conducting recent subject related to recent subjects. They are conducting the effective proceedings and the international national conferences and the symposium and training as well. So all these materials available in the library, students and scholars, they can access from the university, particularly from the university libraries. So they can utilize these things, they update the knowledge. So this will be going to equip the students or helpful the students and scholars what is going on with the chosen area of research or interest of the research, and all these things will be helpful. And in addition to that, we can also understand what are all the eminent and other subject area of respected professors, scientific people. So they are working in different universities, different institutions and colleges. This we can understand when we are go through these proceedings and conference and symposiums. Such a way, this material will also highly helpful for the students and research scholars. And postgraduate thesis, what is going on? What are all the things they have done? How to do it? Thesis, how to prepare the thesis? What are all the content? Introduction, review of literature, and materials and methods, and results, discussion, then summary, conclusion, references. How to write the references? How to present the references in according to the requirement. This will be slightly variable to publishes books as well as the journals and other proceedings as well. So this they can learn in the postgraduate itself, and the end semester when they are doing the project work, they can learn very clearly. This will be highly helpful for the students. So once if they are referring the postgraduate thesis in the university library and all the places, colleges and the institution, then they can understand how to do it in the project or in the dissertation, all these things, how to formulate, how to prepare, how to present effectively, and how they can make it use of for these sources, they can understand the way. Then MPhil thesis, we can refer references, PhD thesis, so we can refer and methods and how to write up the review of literature and what is the introduction and what is the objectives and how to present, so they can learn. And national and international journals. That's more important. So update, we can update the knowledge with reference to the research, particularly the research scholars. They can update their knowledge, what is going on day to day in the different destination and the different repeated laboratory, not only in regional, not only in the national level, throughout the world. They can understand. They can understand and what is going on, what is we need, what is the effective research forum with reference to the subject, as well as what the day to day, what is the today the society need to equip, what is the nation in India required for the urgent need of this scientific forum. So all these things they can understand when they are referring these journals. Then current contents similarly, so they can easily go through and find out the relevant subject, relevant, choose an area of research and choose an area of subject they can refer easily when they are go through these current contents on physical, chemical and earth sciences, current contents on social and behavioral sciences, current contents on life sciences. These are all very important. I hope so every week or every 15 days once or a week is coming out, and then they can refer and they can find out, narrow down what is that subject they need actually. Then they can go for further reference and through internet or e-journal consultorium. So online databases which are available now university, e-journals, national and international journals, easily you can, once if you are coming that, then you can refer and what is that you can, according to your reference, according to your chosen area of research, you can easily go through and find out relevant, reliable journals, research articles for carry out your research, students to carry out the research work in successful manner. Online course material also. So nowadays in Swayam, MOOCs and NPTEL online courses, the eminent professors, they are presenting these online courses effectively. That also will more helpful for the students as well as the research scholars. And in our university, UGC Infonet, that is e-journal consortium. Already we talked about this. And then internet facilities. So you can avail these facilities which is present in the library and common computer center, and you can get the permission, and as per that regulations, you can utilize these internet facilities, and you can find out your suitable research materials or textbook materials and all this. Then digital library facilities which are available, and back volumes. This is also more important. Back volumes, annual reports and training manuals which are available. Back volumes, if you want to refer some of the methodology or some of the concepts, you want to go back to the original volume or some other reports. So in this sense, you can easily go through the back volume, you can refer easily. It will helpful for understanding more about the subject, and you can also clear yourself the doubt and all these things. Then annual report, what is that time to time what is happening, and what is this requirement of scientific community in that stipulated time or stipulated period, what they have done in regional, national and international level. Then training manuals. So with reference to any subject, whatever the training manual, training conducted in the department or in the university level or in the institutional level, which are available in the library, then you can go through. It also it also guide you to conduct yourself as a good training program or workshop or symposium or conferences, how to do it. All these things, the format, in the way of conducting of this training and the preparation of manual and all these things, you can understand easily when you are referring all these things. So this is the wonderful, these are all the wonderful sources for the students from the university level. Next one. Then you can avail other, apart from this text and the reference materials, you can also, the university is supporting sophisticated instrumentation facilities. Otherwise, we have to go to the other higher institutions. We have to avail these facilities. Nowadays, the university itself is having the sophisticated instrumentation, common instrumentation facilities to support the research institutions, affiliated universities, other organizations. So here in our university, Bharati University, high performance computational facility, they have established very nicely, very excellent way. and then bed surface area analyzer and field emission scanning electron microscopy, very extraordinary, sophisticated instrumented. They have installed in the nanoscience department of nanoscience and technology, and scanning electron microscopy, high performance liquid chromatography, inductively coupled plasma mass spectrometry, all these things. In addition, other equipments also, lyophilizer and all these things, they have well established in the DRDBU Center for Life Science. And another sophisticated equipment, that is the powder X-ray diffractometer and FTIR in the Department of Physics. They are doing very well. And then DNA sequencer, recently they have installed, it is working fine in the Central Instrumentation Center. And then advanced nuclear magnetic resonance spectrometer, that is 400 megahertz. Central Instrumentation Center they have installed, is supporting for all these people. And then inductively coupled plasma mass spectrometer, that is 40 megahertz, and high performance liquid chromatography, SPLC, is available in the Department of Environmental Science. Next. So these are all some of the equipment related facilities, sophisticated equipment facilities which are available, common equipment facilities for available for all affiliated institutions, colleges and other organizations. Then what are all the possibilities, sources, funding research projects and facilities, that is funding agencies. So we can prepare the appropriate and relevant project programs, and projects we can submit to according to their guidelines, according to their advertisement, according to the request. So in national level, for example, in DST, UGC, CSIR, ICMR, DRDO, ICIR, then MOEF, RUSA and PERS programs. So here all these professors and faculty members, they are running a lot of projects under this funding agency: Department of Science and Technology, University Grant Commission, Council of Scientific and Industrial Research, Indian Council of Medical Research, and Defense Research and Development Organization, Indian Council of Agricultural Research, Ministry of Forest, Climate and Changes, then ROSA programs and PERS programs. Apart from that, they are also conducting research program with international funding agencies. Several projects are running. They have equipped with this research forum in the respective subject area with collaborative research programs. And regional and state level funding agency also, they are providing a lot of funding. Tamilnadu State Council for Science and Technology, they have provided a lot of funding for the research programs to carry out the research work. And then apart from that, the individual department, they are having these facilities for the destination. This is the absolute essential for these students and the scholars to equip. And then other facilities for PG programs as well as the research scholars, with reference to the subject, with reference to the department, they have established several modern equipment facilities and methods, that is UV visible spectrophotometer, rotary vacuum evaporator, RT-PCR, lyophilizer, FTIR, flame photometer, ultra freezer, automated nitrogen analyzer, gas chromatographic techniques, and LCMS, solvent extractor, fermenter, high-speed refrigerated centrifuges, phase contrast microscopes, high-resolution light microscopy, tissue culture facilities, animal experimental facilities, computational facilities, and well-equipped individual research laboratories with reference to the subject area. So they have developed in individual department with the individual subject area wise also, they have equipped for to support for the PG students as well as for the PhD scholars, including postdoctoral, national postdoctoral fellows as well. Other doctoral fellows from under the JRF, CSIR, and DST, ICR, ICMR, etc., all these programs. Here, the Common Computer Center software tools in the area of data analytics, data mining, knowledge management, business intelligence, image processing, image compression, security, network simulation, statistical packages, simulation tools, accounting packages, speech recognition, and business modeling. They have established very well. and they are supporting for all the faculty members, students, and researchers, scholars, in order to induce the knowledge on state of art technology to teachers, scholars, and students. Training will be given by conducting workshops on latest technology and recent tools. So time to time they are conducting the training programs, and they are providing all these tools to the teachers, scholars, and students. So that is the component of part of the component of the Industry 4 forum as well. They are doing very nicely. And Internet Center, they are supporting well-equipped Internet Center. They are supporting all these related research activities and PG students project work and other study materials they are providing with wholeheartedly. It is highly imperative for the scholars and students to use the internet in order to download their research and course materials. Another significant use of internet is that they can access, can also upgrade their knowledge in the latest trend in the technical field, because not necessary to go to the library and not necessary to the waste time. So they can conserve the time, and then they can go through that more experiment, concentrate on the experimentation, and then they can understand the subject themselves. So it is such a way the internet facilities, internet center is helping enormously. Next, madam, next one. Now, another facilities which are available in the university is a fitness center. The center focuses its attention on maintaining and developing physical fitness, weight reduction and bodybuilding, all these things. So when we are working in the educational systems, we also need take care about the body also. We have to care about the health and the body as well. So we have to focus on fitness to carry out our research work as well as the academic work. That also we need. They also providing the yoga and meditation as well. So modern weight machines like that, also some equipments which are available for common to all. They can get, they can approach, and they can utilize these available facilities like 9-station gym for upper extremity and 6-station multi gym for lower extremity for pull down, tech, arm curl, abdominal crunch are available for exercising various parts of the body. So we can use it according to our requirement. We can mentally and physically we can get ready to actively participate in the academic program. That's also more important. We not only the academic program alone, the physical fitness is also quite essential to carry out our proposed research work or academic work in effective and efficient and elegant manner. Other equipments like a treadmill, bicycle, ergometer, and rolling machines are also available to develop the aerobic fitness. So these are all available in the physical education department. They are established in very nicely with the indoor stadium and all available for the students, and they can avail and utilize in proper way, and they can also participate in the national and regional and international events, sports events based on this. They are providing very nicely. Then another aspects in the university, all universities, they're having this BU Center for International Affairs. So that's the Overseas Student Support Services. That's more important when they are student, they are coming from the abroad to pursue the higher education, either PG program or PhD or postdoctoral programs. They have to take care, and as well as we need to provide a necessary informations and support. So such a way, recently they have established well-defined BU Center for International Affairs, Overseas Student Support Services. Is the first port of call in Bharathiar University for overseas or international students. So this will help the overseas students to settle in a new environment and assist with the practicalities of living in India and completing their studies in Bharathiar University, including the visa processing and as well as this living living things, comfortable living things, all these things. So it also help and advise and aspects of the university accommodation, counseling, visa processing, health and employment. All these things they are providing recently. the university authority has established is very nicely based on these guidelines. So another thing, this they have established this campus Wi-Fi. That is not only the internet facilities also available in the individual lab as well as the faculty and professors and students, PG students, PG smart classrooms, everything is available. In addition, now they have established under PERS program, DST PERS program, phase 2, they have established the campus Wi-Fi. The university department and administrative blocks are facilitated with the Wi-Fi through DST PERS phase 2 program to provide internet facilities. So these Wi-Fi hotspots are arranged at 7 locations inside the university campus and near hostels, which provides 24 hours internet access to the students and scholars. So one thing, the library resources, libraries also having the internet facilities. Second things, we are having in the department faculty members with respective research laboratory. They are having the wonderful internet facilities. In addition, they also having each department. They have established a common computer center with internet facilities. In addition, that for PG program, they are having separate internet facilities for the smart classroom. In addition, each department is having separate seminar hall with full-fledged internet facilities. So completely internet facilities provided for the students in every components. So that's the things, including the hostel also, the Wi-Fi facilities are available, so they can use it not only in the working hours, in the after working hours, they can access these facilities in the hostel. They can continue their studies and referring materials without any interruption. So other facilities, well-defined facilities which are available now in the universities, ladies and gents hostel, well equipped with that, with this as per the directions of the authority, and then international hostel. In addition, international hostel for the foreign visitors, foreign students, all this, and then faculty and scientist hostel, guest house. That's the well-defined guest house facilities for the visiting faculties or eminent professors from the different destination from India as well as from international and scientific community. Scientists also coming from different destination from the India as well as from the global level. And in addition, hospital, campus hospital with the health care center is there, well equipped, whatever the things for the student, they are supporting very nicely. They are supporting for the students, particularly in the COVID period, as per the university authority directions and proper discussion directions, and they have taken much care about the students, not only the students and faculty members, professors and administrative officers and other workers. So wholeheartedly they are doing very nicely the campus hospital with the health care center, so immediately they can access the facilities, the students and scholars, so they can get rid of these problems. And a training center for civil services, so for the national level examination to go through the to get the job in the civil services different components. Here particularly for the IAS, they are giving the training program. We are having the training center for the civil service. They are providing very nicely for the students. So they are admitting and they are providing the excellent training for these students. And then apart from that, regional, national, and international fellowship and scholarship avenues, that also they can get it the informations whatever time to time immediately. The university authority immediately providing all the information to all the professors and faculty members and officers immediately, whatever the direction is giving by central government as well as the state government. So in this sense, and international also, so the regional, national, and international fellowship and scholarship, especially for the students, PG students and PhD students, and those who are willing to carry out the postdoctoral program as well. So time to time they are sending, and immediately the sources will be availed by the respective interested students and scholars. So this is a very nice arrangement, excellent arrangement they are doing in the university level, and they are displaying in the notice board as well as the through mail service they are providing or disseminating or dispatching all this information and distributing the information, so they can students they can immediately understand what is available job opportunity, including job opportunities also. All these things nowadays they are providing immediately. It is also reaching timely to the respective students and the scholars without failure. And the next one is the regional and national and international conference symposium seminar. This information also we are receiving from different our institution, from institution, universities, colleges, and other research organization and non-governmental organization throughout India, and not only throughout India, in regional level as well as in national international level also. So the students and respective professors and faculty members and scholars, they can attend this conference relevant subject relevant conferences, symposium, and training program. Those who are willing to attend, they can attend and they can present their research findings in effective. This is the platform is providing by our university authority. Apart from that, here in the department, university department, different department with reference to the subject, current thrust area of research, they are conducting periodically, they are conducting the symposium, seminar, national, regional, and international conferences, including training programs. These sophisticated equipments or some methodology or some working phenomena with related to that, they are time to time with reference to the subject area and the current thrust area of research, they are conducting the training program. This is exclusively for this training program as well as the conference, symposium, seminar, exclusive for the students, PG students and research scholars. This is the opportunity they can participate and learn how to present, how to prepare this conference, how to prepare the seminar, how to present the conference, how to present the seminar, and how to learn from this training and all these things. So this is opportunity for excellent, spectacular opportunities for the PG student to the throughout these affiliated institutions and all the colleges and other institutions. So that's they are providing, and in addition that distant education program, they are also doing very fine with they are on par, almost equivalent to regular program they are providing. So those particularly the PG students, if they are willing, the undergraduate students, they are already is working in some firm or some institutions, they're willing to take up this degree program. If they are really interested wholeheartedly, then they can approach and they can get it this distant education program. Now almost is not too much of difference with reference to the subject and syllabus curriculum, almost equivalent to regular programs. So these are all the excellent those above said programs are excellent opportunity for the students and research scholars, including postdoctoral fellows. So they have to, based on these resources provided by the teachers, professors, faculty members, then they have to further equip themselves. For this, the excellent opportunity is available in the university. We assure this one. Then the next one now, what is this? University, industry, society research interaction, interdisciplinary approaches. That is one step in the component of higher education and national educational policy. What they have prepared and they have pointing out similar things now they are introducing in our university. All the university they are introducing this university industry society research interactions. Our university is doing very excellent way. So this is good for the good job opportunity. It may create a good opportunity for the students in terms of area of interest and job opportunities. That's the interdisciplinary approaches. So through conducting the NSS programs, including the collaboration with the affiliated institutions and the colleges, other organizations, so they can learn what they have learned. They can test in the society as well, and they can compare what is that educational forum we learned and what is going on in the society, what are all the things we have to do, and what are all the things we need to, what are all the things the society need. So all these things we can understand. This also university is conducting with PG and scholars, students from different organization, different institution, along with the university department. They are doing very nicely these NSS programs. So that also a good opportunity for the student to learn what they learned in academic and what is going on in the society. They can understand and compare, and then what are the things we have to do and what are the things they need. So all these things we can understand very easily through the participation of this NSS program from the universities. Then another thing, services to the society and nation, health and hygiene aspects. So in the rural or peri-urban or urban area, we can they are conducting several programs with related to these health and hygiene aspects. And then educational and environmental awareness among the people. This is a need of time. We need the whole, not only the regional level, not only in the national level, not only in the India level, in whole world, they are now concentrating on the environment, clean environment, ecosystem ecology. So that's the nature-based solution. All this terminology they are following now. They are very effectively and intensively they want to introduce and they want to inculcate all these things. So educational and environmental awareness among the people. They can understand when they are conducting all these program. They can understand what is that things we have to do in order to protect the environment. Environment means for common to all forum, industries, education, academy, and all this we need environment. Without environment and ecosystem, how? Without earth, how we can? So education and our environmental awareness among the people. Then waste management and awareness. These things also we have to know. For example, you know this. What is that solid waste management and other hazardous waste management, and then now the newly one is amazing one, that is plastic awareness. So these are all we have to do it, so that the students they can, when we are conducting these kind of approaches, university, industry, institution and society, then complete things, complete information we can understand what we need, what we have to do, how to keep it the environment in clean, and what are the things we have to do further for the human development. So then clean environment, water harvesting, for example, recycling, reutilization prospectus of water, and the restoration of functional ecosystem. That is the theme of this year. UN declared, UNFAO, they declared this restoration of functional ecosystem and the environment. So the ecosystem should be a function one. So the restoration of functional ecosystem, what they are doing originally as per the nature, we have to restore the ecosystem again to function on par with the natural ecosystem and environment. That is the things. That's why they are talking about this university, industry, society, and the institutions. So that's the things. Then easily we can sort out the problems and we can find out and mitigate these problems. And the urban greening. So we need more awareness. So this is the opportunity. The students can participate, and they are doing in the throughout the nation now. They are doing particularly for air pollution monitoring, air quality monitoring, all these things. They are monitoring meteorological parameters throughout the nation and throughout the state and throughout the district and throughout the regional level also they are monitoring. So the urban greening also we need, because the carbon dioxide concentration already very high. So we need to find out the appropriate, practicable, nature-based solution. In view of this, we have to do it for this urban greening. So several programs. This is easily the students can understand, scholars they can understand. So now every university is arranging these programs, and they can participate. they can understand how to protect, how to do it for the society. What is our things need the society? We can understand, and we can also serve for the society and the people welfare. And then plastic awareness and the biopolymers, so they can understand the students. There are several programs nowadays they are conducting in the university departments, subject wise, and all these things. So plastic awareness and the biopolymers. So instead of that plastic, how, what are all the biopolymers? Nowadays they are focusing on the uh, waste material equivalent to plastic utility. They are preparing the bio plastics from the biopolymer, particularly from the without any competing for the virgin materials. They are going for the waste material. They are generating from the waste material. These are all the idea. They are creating the awareness. The students and the scholars, they can understand very easily what kind of things is very easy to accept, and all these things. And wealth from waste, that's the things. So we are wasting more than 42 to 54% of the food material every day throughout the world. So when we are thinking about this expanding of agriculture, aquaculture, or other commodities or industrial sectors, if we are concentrating on this wealth from waste, let's say if you are reducing the waste material, that itself equivalent to more production, agricultural production. It can save several things. It can save the soil thing, it can save the labor things, and as well as it save the applying of fertilizers, chemical fertilizers. It also save the, it will also withdraw from the pollution, hazardous, all these things. We will get all the nature-based benefits when we are doing this. Also, we can enter into the circular green economy. So, circular green economy, no waste, nothing. So, the whatever the materials, it will going on circulating without any making negative impact in the environment or ecosystem, or in either in the form of material components or in the form of economic form. This is more important now. The our nation is realizing already. India started this program in global level also very actively, very really, and very actively. They are doing all these things. Otherwise, we will be going to lose all this. At least the existing resources will be depleted, and ultimately we will be, the human race will be under trouble. Adoption of industry 4 and progress towards nature-based solution. So in order to, apart from this previous our activity, now the students have to focus on these students and scholars. Nowadays they are having the opportunity to how to focus and lead the education forum, including the higher education forum, including the national education policy. What are all the changes? Why they have changed? And why we have to adapt this industry 4? Industry 1, 2, 3, we know very well. Now, why we are concentrating this industry 4? What are all the benefits? What are all the aspects is covered? You almost is covering every components, every aspects of this science and technology. Then finally, ultimately, how to reach our goal within the forum of nature-based solution, including the circular green economy, without any negative impact in any component, any aspects, any activities what we are engaging. This is the things the students now what they have introduced in the university level. All the universities in India, they have introduced these kind of things, approaches, and effectively they are also implementing inclusion of this, particularly these students. So now this opportunity, the students can, these resources, wonderful academic resources, they can easily understand this graduate, postgraduate, and the scholars. Not only this, in school level, school children also, they can understand these things. That's a way, that's the sources which are available in the universities and higher institutions and colleges as well. Industrial ecosystem perspectives into coming under this nature-based solution. Emission, we have to reduce discharge of effluent, that we have to reduce. We have to find out the alternate. Industry is industry, but we have to reduce this negative impact in the environment aspects, that we have to reduce such a way They have fabricated this industry 4 formulated in throughout the world, and now they are implementing. Our university is effectively they interested, and we are introduced this industry 4 aspects in the curriculum as well, and all the institutions, all the organization also introduced. That's the things. What is that? We have to say one side the available resources, another side we have to reduce the resources exploitation, another side we have to recycle what is coming out as a waste. So these are all the concentrated area without any hazardous or pollutant, further pollution, further warming climates, and all these things we have to reduce. And rainwater harvesting and water reutilization, wastewater reutilization, all these aspects, what is now the available resources without creating any negative impact, and then we have to use. That is the objectives of the industry. Wealth from waste already we have talked, and then zero waste ecosystem ecology and environment. We have to march, we have to move forward towards this zero waste ecosystem. Ecosystem means, or environment means, whatever the material after utilization, it should be recycled in natural form itself, and then utilized by the available fauna and flora, including microbial consortium in the soil, water, and the air. So this is the concepts. So that's the things. All the industries, organizations, science and technology, universities, colleges, and institution, they are moving forward towards these approaches. And green energy, that's the things. So we have to reduce global warming, and then carbon emissions. So these students, they can easily understand what are the green energy from the available resources. Are we creating available resources without too much of exploitation, but utilizing the waste material? How to generate this green energy? These kind of things, resources, these kind of approaches, these kind of educational forum, the university departments they are providing, so the students they can understand immediately, the PG as well as the PhD students and postdoctoral students. Conservation of air, fauna, flora, microbes, soil, water, and air. So these are all more important one. See, already several things in negative impact, high negative impact happened. For example, in the coral forum, coral things in the Australia completely vanished. So already struggling for establishment. So that's the things, and bleaching. So leaching and bleaching all happened in these things, even under the sea. So now they are struggling for conserving these things. Yes, likewise, several wildfire fires because of the climate change, cooled condition, cool climatology. Now they are facing too much of wildfire, particularly in northern part of India as well as in the northern Europe and northern America and Brazil and Mexico as well. In Australia recently they happened. So because of this climate change, so that we have to consider all these things. And now we are facing in India, we are facing these natural disasters, too much of flash flood, and all these things. So, because of this component of climate change, so we have to find out, we have to do it all these things and combat or mitigate this problem not only in the regional level, not only in the national level, in the global forum. So, such a way, this also linked with the industry 4. That's why they are providing such kind of educational outlet they are providing for the students community in PG, undergraduate, and PhD students, and including postdoctoral fellows. So these are the things they can avail, they can understand. The university is ready to provide these resources. They are generating this, formulating these components, and they are providing effectively and very efficiently. Then drug discovery and development. This also the students they can understand, and analytical and chemical solutions, biochemical and biotechnological approaches, all under the nature-based solution. So the such a way That's why the university, institution, industry, and organization, society combining together, and then they are carry out and uh, they are doing this work under the industry for. So every component should be conserved and utilized and without any further deterioration or pollution. This is the whole objectives and aim. That's the thing. Circular green economy. That's the things. Circular green economy. We should not talk about the waste. We should not go for the over and above the production as well. So it should be sustainable. It should be sustainable, repeatable, recyclable, reutilizable without meeting any hazardous or any harmful impacts in the ecosystem or industrial level or in the organization or in the society or in the environment or ecosystem. So animal studies and conservation, that also more important part of these things. So we can't avoid, even we can say we also a component of this ecosystem. So that is the idea we have to conceive and generate ourselves. We are the component of the functional ecosystem, one among the components of ecosystem or environment. This is the objectives. This is the idea the university is providing the higher education in India. Also, they are telling and they are focusing these kind of aspects. So, such a way we together we have to conserve all animals and plant resources, because whether it is benefits, non-benefits, but is they are doing their own ecological directed, ecosystem directed, nature directed function accordingly. That we should be very careful with this conservation and studies and research. So these kind of approaches, this kind of ideas, the people, the students, PG level and the graduate level and undergraduate level, as well as in the PhD scholars, they can understand and they can go through that. These kind of resources, these kind of research and academic resources, directions which are available in the university, they have established recently based on the direction of the National Education and the Higher Education Forum, as well as the regional and the state forum and the requirements. So bioresources conservation and management, this is also a component. Next. Next, please. Madam? Yeah. So then another subjects area, nanoscience and biophysics applications, several applications nowadays, drug delivery and all these things. So that the students, they can learn when they are coming and resources concern department, they can discuss and then can learn. Big data analytics, they can contact with these computer science professors and they can learn all these things. Then computational biology and applications, bioinformatics, they can understand how we can utilize these resources. So the plenty of resources are available, and food and agricultural sectors. So that's the things how to combat, because we are going to face 2025 and 2030. We will be going to face big trouble. That's the prediction by the national India, as well as the global forum, that is UN, FAO, and WHO. They predicted this problem may come arise with reference to the food and the agriculture sector. We will be going to face big problems. So before that, we have to sort out what are all the problems, what are the things we have to mitigate, what are all the things we have to carry out accordingly, according to the region, according to the nation. We have to, right now, we have to initiate this one. Prediction is there. So these related informations, latest ideas, the universities, not only in the universities, the institutions and other organizations, all the leading professors and eminent scientists and fellow colleagues, they are providing throughout the world. They are disseminating these kind of objectives and traditional water harvesting and management strategies. That is a nature-based solution. So these things, the students, they can get it. Latest things and mitigation of pollution and bioremediation attributes, green industry. So that's the things why we are linking this industry and university, institutions and society. So we can understand what are the problem and all these things. Then traditional food habit and cultural heritage. That's why they are selling. The health is wealth. We need that we have to concentrate this traditional food habit with the cultural heritage. The word health is wealth. So the such a way without any waste food materials, without they are also suggesting recently we have to reduce these intensive production sectors. We go with nature-based solution. We have to modify our idea to go with a nature-based solution to make it into sustainable and fertile ecosystem or environment. That's why finally they are telling all under coming under the nature-based solution. That is why now they have integrated this what is called university, industry, institution, colleges, organizations, and society without any compromising. So work together, then easily we can find out what are all the problems and also we can find out solution for the same and we can maintain this earth or environment or ecosystem healthy and functional. So in this broad way, I have provided only small information. These kind of informations, resources available from the universities. So that when we are making these interactions or collaboration with the institution, industry, university, then easily we can find out what are all the problems, what we need to implement, what are all the remedial measures we have to introduce in the society, what kind of technology we have to develop in the laboratory, how to transfer this technology to industry and from the industry to society, then it will be more comfortable and without any further generating of this pollution or any depletion or over exploitation or resource the depletion and all these things will not happen. So we have to find out time to time, not only time to time, immediately. Then we have to take adequate measures. The time itself, then we will be all right. We can maintain this entire globe or entire nation in the form of sustainable development. This is the resources which are available. They can contact the respective faculty members and professors and eminent professors, and they can discuss in the university level. And the university's authority is providing all these things readily, and they have formulated accordingly. So you can get it, or you can use it this facility which are available in the university. So the students are more welcome to carry pursue for a PG program with reference to the area of interest, subject area of interest, and as well as for the PhD research programs. So thank you very much for the given opportunity.
Thank you so much,
Madam,
sir. Yes, sir. Thank you so much, sir. A humble note of thanks for providing us the sheer knowledge and ample opportunities on the various university resources available to students and scholars, which include teaching learning resource, human resource, financial and physical resources. Thank you for emphasizing on the access level and utilization of infrastructure facilities, network-based, sophisticated instrumentation facilities, fitness centers. A heartfelt gratitude for enlightening us on various national and international funded research projects, university, industry, society research interaction, and the importance of Industry 4 Forum with regard to nature-based solutions. Thank you so much, sir.
thank you very much, madam. Thank you very much for the management and respected principal and fellow colleagues and respected professors and faculty members and our beloved students and scholars. Thank you so much. Thank you very much for the given opportunity. Thank you
Thank you,
very much.
sir. Thank you, sir. May I now invite Dr. K. Anbarasi, Assistant Professor from the Department of Chemistry, to welcome the next resource person, Dr. Ranjana Agarwal, Director, CSIR, National Institute of Science Communication and Policy Research, to the audience.
One smile and a happy heart will make the whole day positive. Good afternoon to one and all present here. A warm welcome to our resource person, Dr. Ranjana Agarwal, Director, CSIR, National Institute of Science Communication and Policy Research. And she is a professor of chemistry at Kurukshetra University, Haryana. She has completed her MSc in chemistry from Kurukshetra University and a PhD at Cambridge University, UK, two postdoctoral fellowship at Cambridge University, and one more PDF at Trieste University, Italy. She acts as a visiting professor at Trinity College, Ireland. She has received Dr. Vasudev Banerjee Memorial Award in the year 2014, Professor S.S. Katiyar Award in 2015, and Commonwealth Fellowship in 2003 to 2004. Her research area includes organic and bioorganic chemistry. She is a member of National Monitoring Committee for Minorities Education, MHRD, New Delhi, and Chancellor's nominee for MDU, Rohtak, and IGU, Mirpur, and also President of India nominee for Delhi University and Central University, Assam. She has guided 12 PhDs and published 83 research papers in SCA indexed reputed journals. She has contributed and shared her educational experience through international collaborations at Spain, Ireland, and USA. She has received 6 major research projects from CSIR, UGC, DST, and HSCST funding agencies. Besides chemistry, actively engaged in promotion of Science of India, Science for India among school and college students, gender sensitization, and skill development among girls and rural women. We are all benefited to have such a prominent personality with us today. Over to you, ma'am.
Thank you very much, Dr. Anirbasi, for introducing me. Nice words. Thank you so very much. First of all, I would like to say a very good morning to all the participants present here. Particularly, I would like to thank the principal of NIRMALA College for Women, Coimbatore, and the team conveners of this 2 days workshop seminar conference, Mrs. Kamal and Dr. Josephine, and Dr. A. Subramanian, who is from Vijnana Bharati. All the faculty members and the students present here in the conference, thank you very much for providing me the opportunity to be here with you. I always feel happy when I am among students, and in this particular conference more happy because this is as from my profile also she mentioned about women issues. I was also director of women studies at Kurukshetra universities, so the gender issues are very close to my heart, and it's women college, and organizing a conference on science education in industry, research and academics is very apt, and at this particular time I think it needs more focus also, because very recently All India Survey for Higher Education has come out with a report which says that India ranks number 1 when it comes to higher education, particularly graduates in science. We are much higher than Western countries, whether this is US, whether this is UK, France or Germany. So it's a thing to celebrate that India, the picture is being created that India is not inclusive, it's not gender sensitive, the women are oppressed. But I think this survey particularly focused that India is moving in the right direction, and women empowerment is one of the main agenda of the government, like how to bring more and more women to science. So I am very pleased that this college, NIRMALA College for Women, Coimbatore, is taking this motive forward that more and more girls should come to the higher education, and particularly the disciplines of science, because we all know that path to progress is only through science and technology. So I am very glad that by organizing this 2 days conference, you will be exposing our young girls, our young faculty members, women, to take science as a very serious discipline. They just should not, have a degree and that's it. They should, pursue their career in science and technology and should become scientists, researchers, innovators, and bring the fame to the country. And I'm very sure that the young girls who are very committed, they know their potential, that they can achieve anything what they want, they will be contributing to India's progress in a big way. So a big congratulations to the whole team for organizing this conference. Now coming to today's topic, I will be talking on celebrating the nectar of freedom. Coming to the context, why this topic? We all know that on 15th August 2021, we all will be entering into the Platinum Jubilee year of our independence. We all are very fortunate that we were born in the country which was free from the British Empire, that gave us opportunity to express our freedom in whatever manner we wanted to. Whether this is, the education, whether this is the profession, where I want to stay in India, what kind of, eating habits I have, expression of, emotions, expression of thoughts, equity, inclusive, you name anything. So in a free country, I'm a free bird. I have, avenues to explore and to achieve heights. But think of our predecessors who were born in the British Empire, the kind of oppression they have faced, the kind of discriminatory laws and policies they have faced, and the kind of struggle they have done so that the India can achieve independence. So I think on the Platinum Jubilee year, this is the right time to, show our gratitude to those people. And I'm very glad that our Honorable Prime Minister, Shri Narendra Modi ji, who always thinks of, connecting society with the national issues, on March 12 in Ahmedabad, when he was in Ahmedabad, so he started that we should have, from that very day, 75 weeks till we reach to August 15, 2022. So in those 75 weeks, we must celebrate Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav, celebration of nectar of independence, by doing various kind of activities, like how the freedom struggle went on, how India thought about it, after the independence, how India has progressed in its actions and everything. And that day was very historical when he initiated this program. 12th March was the day when Mahatma Gandhi started the Dandi March. So a satyagraha kind of thing, where the people went to Dandi and just handpicked, salt, because it was against Namak Satyagraha. We also call it Namak, salt Satyagraha. Am I audible?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, I think I got disconnected.
Yeah,
Got
yeah. There's
disconnected.
some
Yes.
network issue. Yes, yes.
Yeah. So 12th March was the day of Satyagraha, and we all acknowledge that. So that was the day was chosen. But today I would like to talk about, because it's a science conference. Generally, a perspective has been created by historians and also by the political, social, and economic people, that the independence movement was, led by people who are into the political or socio-economic domain, and science and scientists did not have any role into that. uh, Science and scientists were like busy working in their labs, and they didn't contribute to the independence movement. So through this Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav, it is the right time when we start thinking about the contribution of our scientists, how facing their oppressive policies, they come out, contested the hegemony, intellectual hegemony of British, and created nationalism into the society. So I will start with, it is VIBHA's initiative, Vigyan Bharati initiative. Vigyan Bharati is a national organization for Swadeshi movement which works for Science of India, Science for India. So Vigyan Bharati took this initiative that we should reach to the masses, and even to the scientific fraternity. Even scientific fraternity is not convinced that whether we participated in the freedom struggle as Mahatma Gandhi did, or as Gokhale did, or as Bhagat Singh did. So we are basically undermining ourselves. So in today's lecture, because there are many young girls are also there and the faculty members are also there, I would like to narrate few instances with you, share with you some examples, some narratives, some life stories, which will make you believe that how science and scientists participated in the national movement for independence. As I said, there were discrimination. So in my talk, basically you will get the reflections that how they faced discrimination, how they contested intellectual hegemony, how they created atmosphere and ecosystem to create original scientific knowledge, research, scientific communities, scientific journals, scientific literature in regional languages, and how it helped us to create feeling of nationalism and participating in the freedom struggle in the same manner as other revolutionaries does, or other political people did. Many people also believe that British brought science to India for the welfare of Indians. And they have done, a kind of philanthropy to the Indians by bringing science to India. Otherwise, India was an orthodox society, backward society. It was the country of snake charmers, etc. So that was the kind of narrative built around Indians, that Indians are not capable of doing, logical research or logical thinking. To break that mindset also required creation of atmosphere of self swa. So that how the scientists worked uh, uh, to bring that feeling of pride, self pride of being Indian. So they brought science not for the welfare of Indians. They brought science to India to create science as a tool to create British Empire. It was a tool for them to bring science. And if you look at the history, the initial cases of science introduction was where they wanted to survey. There were field studies. They wanted to understand Indian geography, Indian geology, Indian flora and fauna, Indian demography, that how to exploit our resources to the maximum extent, how to loot India in a more efficient manner. That's why they brought science. And therefore the initial science which was brought to India from West was either the field science, or the people were engaged in the laboratory assistance. But we Indians, being in the field studies and being in the laboratory assistance, excelled a lot. I narrate two examples one of laboratory and one of field studies. We all know Mount Everest. How many of you know that Mount Everest was basically peak 15 in India, and the height of this peak was first time reported by a very brilliant mathematician from Kolkata, Radhanath Sikdar. He was an expert in spherical trigonometry. That time computers were not there, so humans were being used as computer, and this person was a computer in Great Trigonometry Survey of India. He was a very brilliant mathematician, very good in calculations in trigonometry, and he was the first person who reported that peak 15 is the highest peak in the world, and he reported this to Surveyor Journal of GSTI, Andrew Waugh. But look at this, discrimination. Sir Andrew Waugh named this peak 15 on the name of his predecessor, George Everest, as Mount Everest, and didn't give any credit to Radhanath Sikdar. When the manual surveys of India were published, in edition 1 and 2, they mentioned in the preface that Radhanath Sikdar was involved in the project. But in the third edition, when Radhanath Sikdar has expired, they advertently removed his name from the manual. It was a newspaper named as Friend of India, which in 1976 called it robbery of the dead, because they knew that Radhanath Sikdar is now no more here, and he will not protest against it. So this was the discrimination to Radhanath Sikdar, that his work was, the credit was given to somebody else. And what do they call these surveyors who were doing all the surveys on the ground? They called it Pahadi coolies. The people who carry the luggage. Pahadi means mountaineers. People who just carry luggage, they are Pahadi coolies. And Radhanath Sikdar opposed to this statement, and he was fined rupees 200, and a criminal case was registered against him because he raised voice against the magistrate who used the word Pahadi coolies. Another example, which is a well-known example of malaria, you all be knowing that the malaria was the whole, the parasite Plasmodium falciparum. The whole history was discovered by Ronald Rose, who was carrying out work in India on malaria, and in 1902 he got the Nobel Prize for this discovery of malarial parasite. So in Ross lab also, there was one Indian, Kishori Mohan Bandhopadhyay. He was a science graduate from Presidency College. Ross was looking for a very hardworking, Indian to carry out the work. So Kishori Mohan Bandhopadhyay joined Ross lab. Day and night, he was going from one village to another village, convincing villagers to come forward to donate blood and, become part of the experiments. He was working on the bench, collecting samples, analyzing them. What I want to say, like, he was the one who was carrying out day and night job for Ross. And Ross, neither his Nobel lecture nor his papers mentioned the name of Kishori Mohan Bandhopadhyay. So this is, a sheer discrimination happened to that person. And when Ross wrote his memoir, Full Account of the Great Malarial Problem and Its Solution in 1923, even in his memoir, he never mentioned the name of Kishori Mohan Bandhopadhyay even once. Somewhere he has written assistant, one assistant. That was, discrediting the work of a person who has given his, life to the whole research, scientific research, and not given to that. And Kishori Mohan Bandhopadhyay was so, aggrieved that when 1927 Ross came to India to visit Presidency College, Bandyopadhyay refused to meet him. But at the same time, Indian scientists who were at that time started, building up a network of Indian scientists like J.C. Bose, Acharya P.C. Ray, Kishori Mohan Upadhyay. So these people then approached to Lord Curzon, like why the credit of this malaria research has not been given to Kishori Mohan Bandyopadhyay. The Ross has basically stealed the whole scientific. It is basically an ethical issue that you are not giving credit to the person who has basically did the research with you. So the Lord Curzon then recommended, on the recommendation of Indian scientists, to give King Edward VII Gold Medal Award to Kishori Mohan Bandyopadhyay. And Indian public celebrated this, achievement. So here, the feeling of nationalism starts coming. When the discrimination was happening, the feeling of nationalism was emerging at the same time, that the people around the people who were doing science, they started to object about these issues. So these were the two examples where I talked about, initial phases when the science was introduced and how the Indians were exposed to scientific studies. So one may argue, because they were not, the ones who were having the original thoughts, or the ones who were not, initiated the study, that's why the discrimination was there. But I would like to share with you some stories where the Indians were trained in the British universities. And they were not only trained, rather they made a mark in the British Empire that they are well accomplished. But even when they wanted to come back to serve their motherland, they were not received with, open arms. The first example is Acharya J.C. Bose, Jagdish Chandra Bose, Sir J.C. Bose. You all must have heard his name for his experiments in physiology, that plant has life, and also for microwaves, wireless communication. So these two examples basically make him the first scientist in India to do interdisciplinary research, which we talk about today. So in 19th century, you can see the interdisciplinary work started in India. So when J.C. Bose came to India, because he was, a very true patriot, he wanted to come and serve his motherland. So he wanted to come to India, and the training he has got in Cambridge in physics, he wanted to use that training to educate his brother and sisters in India, and to start a research environment in India too. Because we all know research is the only component which is to create new knowledge. Education is one thing, but in education you transact knowledge which is already created, which is already present. But research is the domain where you create fresh knowledge. And in India at that time, no scientific research was available. So when he came back to India, he realized that there are two kind of services in India. If you want to go into higher education or into medical system, anywhere you want to go, there are two things. One is imperial services, the other is provincial services. Imperial services, as the name indicate, was to induce Britishers into that, and the condition was that if you have nomination, only then imperial services can be taken up. And Indians were, recruited for the provincial services, and there was a huge, salary gap and the terms of service in the imperial and provincial. In the provincial services, the salary was less than one half. So you can see that how J.C. Bose, who was trained in Cambridge, was not fit for the imperial services. But because he came from Cambridge, he brought a very strong recommendation letter from Lord Rayleigh, And he met Lord Ripon, who was the Viceroy of India in Shimla, and he showed his credentials to him and the recommendation letter he received from Cambridge. Dr. Ripon was very impressed with his CV. So he strongly recommended him for the imperial services. As I said, for imperial services, nomination was essential. So he was recommended for imperial services. But believe you me, that Sir Alfred Croft, who was the director of public instruction of Bengal, and Mr. Charles Tony, who was principal of Presidency College, strongly opposed this nomination. Croft rather said, I am usually approached from below, not from above. There is no no higher class appointment at present available in the Imperial Education Service. I can offer you only a place in provincial services from which you may be promoted. So Viceroy of India is recommending him, but even then the resistance to take Indians was so strong that he was not given the imperial services. He was asked to join provincial services on the temporary basis too. J.C. Bose refused to join in the provincial services. So again, Lord Ripon intervened, and he was taken into imperial services, but with the half of the salary. The first satyagraha, which you can say, was by J.C. Bose when he said, I will accept the position, but I will not accept the half salary. Because this is a sheer discrimination to an Indian, not to J.C. Bose, but it is a sheer discrimination to Indian, that you are not acknowledging my intellect and you are putting me into the imperial services but still giving me half the salary. And it's heartening to note that for 3 years together, not 1 or 2 months, 3 years he kept on teaching in Presidency College, with dedication, without accepting a single penny from the British. And after 3 years, they realized his popularity as a teacher was so high in Presidency College that they were forced to accept him in the provincial services with the full salary, and also they paid him the salary of the last 3 years. So I will say this was the first satyagraha by an Indian to the colonial administrators, like Indians are not going to settle for less for what they deserved. And then Acharya J.C. Bose, even if you look at his research, the microwave research, the wireless communication which he invented, which he demonstrated, which was accepted by all, many people told him to get it patented, but he always thought that science is for the welfare of the mankind. Whatever invention I have done, if it can be used for the welfare of the society, I don't want to earn money from it. So it is in the open access form, anybody can use it. And we all know that how Marconi utilized it and got the Nobel Prize for that. And similarly for the plant physiology experiment which he has done, that opened the new doors to physiology. So a physicist doing a botany, exploring the discipline of botany is highly remarkable. But British people did not acknowledge all these achievements in science by Sir J.C. Bose until it was recognized by Royal Society. Otherwise, they always said it is its own interest, it's his personal interest which he is pursuing. He was given only a very small room next to bathroom where he created a laboratory. He made his own instruments with the help of local artisans, with the help of local material available. So those sophisticated instruments were able to do the kind of science in India which even Westerns couldn't. So Sir J.C. Bose created, an atmosphere in the higher education in scientific domain, and also he created Bose Institute. so that that Indian institute should be there where Indians can pursue the science whatever they want to do. Another name which I want to take is Acharya P.C. Ray, Praful Chandra Ray. He was a chemist. J.C. Bose was a physicist. He was a chemist. They both were good friends. J.C. Bose was followed by P.C. Ray to England. They met there. P.C. Ray was at Edinburgh on Gilchrist Fellowship. A very bright chemist who not only was pursuing science but also in the British Raj, in the Britain itself, he was raising the issues of atrocities given to Indians. He wrote an essay in Edinburgh when he was at Edinburgh, India before and after mutiny. And there he highlighted that how British are perpetuating colonial exploitation and neglecting the development and education of people of India. That created an uproar in the society because you are basically, coming up front in their country to raise these issues of, exploitation. But he was not deterred. He approached Sir John Bright, who was a parliamentarian, and he sent his essay to him. Like, these are the things which are going on in India, and I wanted to bring to the notice to the society of Britain, like how back home they are exploiting us. So Sir John Bright, he was an open-minded person. He allowed that, and this essay was published in newspapers, and he raised this issue, and this issue was noticed by British people also, that how back home in India, British are exploiting us. So when he came back after PhD, a doctorate from Edinburgh University, he was refused to be absorbed in imperial services. He was asked to be in the provincial services. Like J.C. Bose, he didn't oppose it. Reason maybe like he wanted to, he have so many things in his mind that India is lacking behind. He says in his biography that at Edinburgh, I used to always think that why India, which has such a strong heritage of ancient Indian knowledge, scientific knowledge, why it is being not mentioned anywhere. Country like Egypt, country like Greece, country like Japan are being mentioned, but India is not mentioned anywhere. So it always pained him. So when he came back to India, he wanted to create, a school of chemistry. He wanted to start research in chemistry. He wanted to establish industries based on, indigenous knowledge. He wanted to create literature, Indian literature on scientific outcomes. So therefore, he joined Presidency College as a provincial service only at rupees 250 salary, which was much less than the imperial service. And he was the one who was successful in establishing School of Chemistry at Presidency College. And we all know about J.C. Ghosh, who was the first director of IIT Kharagpur, or N.R. Dhar, who was at Allahabad, and Biresh Chandra Guha, and so many other good students he produced from there. He also envisages that if India has to grow after independence, it has to become, economically strong also. So therefore, he thought of Indian industries. So he started the first industry of India, was established by Acharya P.C. Ray, that was Bengal Chemicals, which is still, active. But that time it was the first industry, and even British recognized the potential of this industry. After that, he established pottery, Kolkata Pottery Works, Bengal Enamel Works, National Tannery Works, Bengal Steam Navigation Company, and so on. He thought of like all the chemists of India should come at common platform. So he established societies, associations, Indian Chemical Society, and a Journal of Indian Chemical Society, where Indian authors also get the chance to write their work. And the first edition, when it was published, most of the papers were from Indian chemists, and only a couple of papers from British. And even the journal Nature appreciated this initiative of Acharya P.C. Ray. So Acharya P.C. Ray was such a brilliant scientist who published his paper in Nature at that time, Journal of Chemical Society of UK. Uh, Even that person, after creating its own journal, thought of the nationalism that instead of publishing in international journal, I should publish in Indian journals and strengthen it so that people around the world at international level acknowledge our contributions. Another thing which he did and which created nationalism, and still we refer that book, it is world critically acclaimed book, The History of Hindu Chemistry. The word Hindu sometimes disturbs many, but when he says history of Hindu chemistry, he wanted to bring the focus towards science which India had. From the Vedic periods, we know that how culturally, scientifically, intellectually rich we were. So, in history of Hindu chemistry, he wanted to bring, scientifically validated scientific knowledge to the society. Therefore, he didn't go by emotions writing this book. This book is, very well based on evidence. And through evidence, he proved that in metallurgy and medicine, India had advanced significantly, better than, alchemy practiced in Europe. So history of Hindu chemistry is the landmark of nationalism when we say about Acharya P.C. Ray, and how even Britishers called him a revolutionary in the garb of scientist, because he was so much nationalistic. He always says science can wait, Swaraj cannot. So whenever there was a call, for his country, he was always there. So another name, which is of Pramath Nath Bose, who was a geologist. He studied in Royal School of Mines from London. Again, an accomplished scientist, geologist. He joined Geological Survey of India and contributed a lot in the discovery of coal and metals, everything. And Medley-Court was the head of Geological Survey of India. He was so prejudiced against Indians. He once said, you listen the words he have used and how much it shows basically, the racism and inferiority towards Indian. He expresses that. He says Indians were incapable of original work in natural science. He is not saying one Indian or any individual. He is saying Indians in general. He is making a statement that Indians were incapable of original work in natural science. He further says that I want to wait till the scientific code among the natives, if needed, exist. Even he is saying if that code is there, if it exists there, means he doesn't believe that flair for original work exists in Indians, but he says he wanted to wait till the scientific code among the natives was touched, and added that if needed exist as yet in this variety of human race. A clear-cut statement of racism, this variety of human race. So let us exercise a little discretion with our brethren and not expect them to run before they can walk. So they put us very clearly that we Indians are an inferior race. Our thinking capabilities are much less than the white people, and they are in the faster lane running, and we, till our uh, capabilities are built up, we do not even know to walk. So we should be given time to do original research, so we should not be given responsibilities. And therefore, when he retired, Pramathnath Bose was the senior most person in Geological Survey of India to be elevated to become director of GSI. But the policy was such that no British can be subordinate to an Indian. So a 10-year junior, T. Holland, which was much inferior in his scientific endeavors as compared to Pramathnath Bose, was made the director general of Survey of India. But the boss did not accept it. He resigned. He resigned rather than being a subordinate to his junior T. Holland. He resigned from the GSI. And as I said, he was very bright. He has discovered many mines for Britishers. So this time he wanted to utilize his intellect, his knowledge for his motherland. And he went to Jamshedji Tata, who was, a Swadeshi industrialist. He went to him and told him about the iron ores in Murbhanj area. And Jamshedji supported him, provided him finance, and asked him to establish an industry. And the steel industry, TISCO, which was established in now called Jamshedpur, was by P.N. Bose. So, how they were discriminated. They didn't take it light down. They contested it head on, and showed to the world that Indian have the original thinking. The feeling of self that was created by these our national scientists. They created national science. They thought of India, an independent India, and how it will have say in building up the science and technology policies and institutions. Indian Association of Cultivation of Science was also established that time. That was by Dr. Mahendra Lal Sarkar, who himself was a Western medicine trained doctor, but find it faulty and joined, started practicing homeopathy. And he thought that Indians should have places to work on their own will rather than taking grants from the government, British government, and then follow their rules and policies. So he established Indian Association of Cultivation of Sciences and invited C.V. Raman. Ashutosh Mukherjee was followed Mahendra Lal Sarkar. So Ashutosh Mukherjee invited Dr. C.V. Raman to come to ISC and start working. And from there, the first Nobel Prize of India came in physics. Similarly, ISC Bangalore was settled, BHU, Banaras Hindu University by Madan Mohan Malviya, and many, many more institutions started coming up by the initiative of Indian scientists. So what I want to say here, I would like to summarize what I have saying, that at the time of, Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav, or celebrating the nectar of independence, we must bring this perspective, in the society, that science, Indian science and Indian scientists played as important role, as equal partnership in the independence movement as our other political or socio-economic leaders did. So this perspective has to brought into the notice of the scientific society and the in general overall, particularly among school students, among college students, university students, among researchers, so that they drive pride, they drive glory out of it, and they can think of that if in that colonial period our scientists challenge those oppressive policies, discriminatory policies and laws, and emerged out. Why can't we do it now? And how nationalism was created among the society towards, looking at us, ourselves, with a feeling of pride, not thinking that we are inferior, that racism, inferiority, that should go away. So these kind of things we should brought out into the society, that how 9 Royal Society fellows were there in the British time. First Nobel laureate, he was the first Nobel laureate of India who worked in India, got the Nobel Prize independently. After that, we have some Nobel laureates Indian, from Indian origin, but their research has not been done on our own land. So these are, inspirational stories which we should bring out. That will be the real tribute, real homage to our warriors, sung and unsung both. Because for scientists, I call them unsung heroes, because the societies do not know their struggle. But we can very well understand that what kind of struggle they have taken and emerged out. So I think it becomes our responsibility that in the coming year, 15th August 2021 onwards, let's take it as a mission that we will have, particularly the science faculty can focus on this area, that in the coming next year, we will organize, a kind of movement, a kind of, a drive, within campus and outside campus, and tell people about these unsung heroes. हम बाकी लोगों की बहुत बात करते हैं, but I think these peoples also deserve lots of applaud, lots of, recognition, because it's because of them that today we are enjoying, the free air and serving our motherland in a much better way. So with these words, I would like to stop, and the platform is yours. Thank you so very much.
Thank you so much, ma'am, for illuminating the fact that science is a tool for the elixir of energy of freedom. Your brief historical analysis of British colonization centered around exploitation, discrimination of our educational and research resources was quite alarming and awakening. We swear that we as scientists will hold science to be congruent to our nation. And we also emphasized on the contribution of Indian scientists, the unsung heroes towards the Indian freedom as equal as the political leaders. Thank you so much, ma'am.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. May I now call upon Dr. Sajani Jose, Assistant Professor from the Department of Zoology, to introduce Dr. A. Sundaram, Associate Professor of Entomology, Tamilnadu Agricultural University, Thanjavur.
Science is a way of thinking. More than that, it is a body of knowledge. A warm good afternoon and a hearty welcome to all for the 2 days conference on opportunities for science education in industry, research, and academics, which is jointly organized by NIRMALA College for Women, Autonomous Coimbatore, and Vijnana Bharati. Now, I take this opportunity to introduce the resource person of this session, Dr. A.KALYANA Sundaram, Associate Professor of Entomology, Tamilnadu Agriculture University, Thanjavur, and State Science Council member of Vijnana Bharati. Dr. A. Kalyansundaram is an Associate Professor in Department of Entomology, Tamilnadu Agriculture University, Thanjavur, and a member of State Science Council of Vijnana Bharati. He received his PhD from Punjab Agricultural University in the year 2004, MSc Agriculture from NIRMALA University, Chidambaram in the year 1998, and BSc Agri from Tamil Nadu Agriculture University in the year 1994. Dr. Kalyana Sundaram has 3 years of teaching experience in Anbil Dharmalingam Agriculture College and Research Institute, Trichy, and also has 6 years of research experiences in Regional Research Station, Tamil Nadu Agriculture University, Virudhachalam, and 1 year in Indian Agricultural Research Institute, New Delhi. Added to the credit, Dr. Kalyana Sundaram received Punjab Agricultural University Merit Fellowship in the year 2000, and Dr. Radhakrishna Award from Annai Gandhimati Kalai Ilakkiya Peravai, Chennai in the year 2015. Sir has published 5 research papers in various reputed journals. On behalf of our college and Vijnana Bharati, I extend a warm welcome to you, sir. Also, I extend my heartfelt gratitude for accepting the invitation and to preside over the session. I am happy to invite such an eminent person for today to deliver a talk on the topic Awareness and Role of Science in Agriculture. Once again, I welcome you, sir. Thank you. Over to you, sir.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you for your nice words. Respected Dean, St. Joseph College, Tirupur, Dr. Mary Josephine, heads of the Department of NIRMALA College, professors, research scholars, postgraduate students, parents. Good afternoon, everyone. So in Tamil, திருக்குறள் செவிக்கு உணவில்லாத பொழுது சிறிது வயிற்றுக்கும் ஈயப்படும் சொல்லுவாங்க. Many of you can understand this. If there is no food for ear, then we can give little to stomach. I think there is no point of giving little to stomach because continuously we are feeding for ear. Anyway, so right time to know about and role of science in agriculture. Right. So in this PowerPoint, let us see what are the different science faculties, science involved in agriculture production and productivity, and how we can get admission into the agriculture stream. So here we know that agriculture is an important sector of Indian economy. It contributes about 3% of total GDP and provides employment to about over 60% of the population. Right? We know that the India is an agricultural country. Top 3 in terms of production of various agricultural commodities like paddy, wheat, pulses, groundnut, rapeseeds, fruits, vegetables, sugarcane, cotton, and tobacco leaves, etc. Next slide. So this is, I think, everyone knows, being an Indian, everyone knows culture, right? So in the earlier days, so we had only very little production. The production was 51 million, 50 to 51, and now it is improved to 297.5 million tons 2020-21. So because of science and the scientist, so the production and productivity has increased this much level. Right. Next. Even nowadays, a lot of grains are spilling over the road or nearby our house. So that much productivity we have right now. So due to the development of science. So the science involved in agriculture, the plant breeding and genetics. So without production of new varieties, without discovery and invention of new varieties having the yield quality as well as other parameters, that is the required parameters, the needed parameters, we could not be able to achieve the targeted production. In that way, the department plant breeding and genetics plays very important role. So here, evolving of varieties or hybrids in important agricultural benefit of farmers. So because of that reason, we have different regional research stations as well as agricultural stations all over Tamil Nadu and India also. So they will identify regional specific problems through farmers So basic problems, the plant breeders, the plant evolve new varieties or hybrids, so that we can achieve that environment. So to conduct basic research in botany, then genetics, cytogenetics, as well as plant breeding, and the characterization of germ plots of sessions in important agricultural crops. Selection, we can identify different varieties. So we have to do elaborate a survey and to have a better sessions. Then preserving the available plant genetic resources without loss of viability. So this department plays very important role in preservation of plant genetic resources. So that is most important for making diversity. So the diversity is most important to make new variety required qualities. Generating pre-breeding plant genetic materials by utilizing wild species and land races for quality resistance. So we have a lot of problems from soil to plant. So in that the protection, that is pest and diseases plays very important role in reduction of yield. So we have to develop a variety so that we can overcome that pest and disease problems. Then applying marker assisted tools with the classic approaches to integrous critical, then identification of new donors for major biotic as well as abiotic stresses. Nowadays we are facing lot of problems. We just say now there are different invasive pests like your coconut rygos, spiraling whitefly, then in maize, fall armyworm. So that is Tamil, that is American padaipudu. So like that, there are a lot of invasive pests from other countries started reducing our yield. So we have to identify new donors for such major biotic and abiotic stresses. So that work is done by our application. Then monitoring and coordinating nucleus as well as breeders seed production in so that nuclear as well as breeders is important after evolving a new variety. So that work is done by our plant breeding and genetics. The thing is supplying of nucleus seed, then import. So not only just identifying new varieties, we have to impart training to the technical person so that that work will be out. So these all works are by the plant breeding and genetics, the science involved. The next one, next slide. Not only plant genetics and plant protection also. Protection. So there are different biotic factors. Different biotic factors like insect pests, diseases, nematodes, and weeds. So reduce the yield. So we have to overcome these all. For that, this Directorate of Plant Protection Studies. So that involves studies and molecular characterization of major insect pests, then mite, plant parasitic nests and plant pathogens, including invasive pests, development of management strategies. Then we know that there are different pests available, so that we react based on their environment. So if we take an insect, so that reproduction capacity as well as management depends upon the airborne, that is environmental condition. So we have to study condition to manage that pest. So this directorate involves the management of the insect pest. So that includes molecular for the major pest. Even so, molecular approaches are mainly used to detect resistance also, right? I think the research scholars might have studied the enzyme. Other secondary metabolites are involved in resistance, that too insecticide resistance as well as host plant resistance. So it's a plant protection scientist involved in management, including molecular approaches for the major pest diseases as well as plant parasitic nematodes. Then development of pesticides, right? So, we might have studied that there are different plants. The secondary metabolites of different act as insecticide. So this has property. So based on that insecticidal property, we can make biopesticides, then botanicals, antagonistic pathogens, and entomopathogenic nematodes. So formulation as well as patenting products. Then developing and establishing collaboration with the national as well as institutes. Then developing digitized gadgets for the identification and forewarning as well as management of pest and diseases. So these are some of the works, some of the zoology science involved in agriculture. Next one, next one. See, not only plant-based, zoology-based studies also. Because of that reason only, see, most of the agriculture graduates can be able to shine up in that administrative positions, IAS, IPS, since they are covering almost all subjects from arts to science as well as social sciences. Next slide. Next slide. Yeah, then the crop management. The crop management includes and related such. So, so this directorate involves to strengthen the research programs in field management, farming system, weed science, organic agriculture, weather science, stress physiology, as well as animal husbandry. Right. So there are factors that determine the of the crop. So these are all very important factors like irrigation as well as stress physiology. So these aspects will be covered of crop management. Then identifying crop management related field problems in different agroclimatic. See, not only um, zoological or biology, so that the abiotic stresses can be studied by agroclimatic zones of Tamil Nadu. So we have different research stations as well as KVKs, Krishi Vigyan Kendra, that is Velanmi Ariviyal Nilayam, located in different locations of different zones. So based on their need, based on their problem, uh, we can do research. Providing crop management solutions from ploughing to nutrient and drought stress management and weather-based agro advisories. So not only do research on these science aspects, so that will be disseminated through the extension functionaries to the farmers, to the clients, and to the technocrats like assistant agriculture officers and department officials. So this is crop management studies. Next slide. Next slide. Yeah. So these all development, inventions, discoveries will be taken by that agriculture and rural development directorate to the farmers. So to promote innovative policy-oriented research in frontier areas in the field of agriculture and economics, so covering wide range of issues to achieve development of a state as well as a central policymaker, and to facilitate intellectual property rights protection in the inventions of science farmers as well as entrepreneurs. So agriculture and rural development. Next slide. This directorate also training. So the entrusted with the responsibility of organizing training programs to the extension functionaries and need based. Then this directorate to publish Ulavarin Valarum Velanmai. So which is one edition journal in Tamil for educational farmers. Then Krishi Vigyan Kendra. So this is a central government organization which disseminate the technologies through then frontline demonstration, trainings, provision of inputs and advisory to the farmers. Then educational mail, then e-extension center and community radios. So these are all some of the technologies, that is the digital technologies, multimedia technology used to disseminate the technologies, agriculture from laboratory to land. Right. Next. Right. So this is the different department rates having different science section involves in agricultural production, right? Starting from where then you were animal science, then you were social sciences. So these all involves in agricultural production, not only production and development. So ultimate aim of the scientist and the university is to increase their livelihood, farmers' livelihood, some standard of living. So let us see how we can get admission. See what are the different procedures followed to get admitted in Tamil Nadu Agriculture University. It will be very much useful for the students. Now they are aspiring for BSc Horns Agriculture. Um, so there are two important programs. So first one is for agriculture science programs, that is BSc Horns Agriculture, then BSc Horns Horticulture, BSc Horns Forestry, then Food, Nutrition and Dietetics, then BTech Agricultural Engineering and BTech Agriculture. So these are all agricultural science programs, and agricultural technology programs, BTech Food Tech, BTech Biotechnology, BTech Environmental Engineering, and BSc Horns Agribusiness Management. So these two programs uh, in Tamil Nadu Agricultural University. Right. Next one. There are different agricultural colleges, affiliated college, constituent college. So these all colleges comes under Tamil Nadu Agricultural University. So first one is Coimbatore, AC&RA, Agriculture College and Research Institute Coimbatore. Then Agriculture College and Research Institute Madurai, Agriculture College and Research Institute Killikudam. So that's there in Thoothukudi. Then Anbil Dharmani Agriculture Research Institute Tiruchirappalli, Agriculture Research Institute Vadavachulu, that is in the Thiruvannamalai district. Then Agriculture College and Research Institute Kudumiyanmalai in district. Next one. And Agriculture College Ichangotai in Thanjavur district. Then Horticulture College and Research Institute Coimbatore. So that is for your horticulture. And Horticulture College and Research Institute Perikulam. Then Horticulture College and Research Institute for Women in Tiruchirappalli. Then Agricultural Engineering College and Research Institute Coimbatore. Then Agricultural and Research Institute Kumulur in Tiruchirappalli district. Then Forest College and Research Institute Metupalayam, and Community Science College and so these are all, these 14 college constituent colleges are under TNA, constituent college. And how many seats they are allocating for different campuses? So for Coimbatore, that is 178. In that, course strength is 99, and industrial quota 25, and NRI quota 25, and 15 seats allotted for ICA quota. So that all India level quota. So like that, 178 and Madurai 197, Kilikulam 146, Trichy 146, then Thiruvana 100, then Kudumiyanmalai 120, 100. So like that, so the seat allocation for different colleges, right? So for the previous one. So for these all up to Ichambotai for BSc Horns Agriculture. And for horticulture, there are 3 colleges, Coimbatore, Periykulam, and so here 82, 139, and 95. So these seats are allotted for different colleges. And for engineering, there are 2 colleges, Trichy and Coimbatore. In Trichy, 95 seats and Coimbatore 60 seats. And for forestry, only 1 college, that is in Metupalayam. So strength is 86. And for agriculture, again in Metupalayam, so 37 seats, 37 seats. So those all interested, the students interested, they can get such courses. Next one. And for nutrition and dietetics in Madurai, College of Food Science. So that is 47 seats. And college programs, that is a BTech Bio in Coimbatore, 67 seats, and Agri Business Management, 57 seats, Technology, BTech Food Technology, 69 seats, and BTech Energy and Engineering, Environmental Engineering, 69 seats. So these are all number of seats located in different campuses. Right. Now, see, not only these constituent colleges, there are affiliate colleges also. There are affiliated colleges also offering BSc Horns agriculture as well as BSc Horns horticulture. So these are the college like Adi Parata, then Adi Parasakti College of Horticulture in Ranipet district. Then BSc Agriculture Thandai Rover, Perambalur. Then Vanavarayar Agriculture College, Pollachi. Then Imayam Agriculture College, Thurayur. UP Agriculture College, Palani. Then RBS Agriculture College, Sengipatti, Thanjavur. Then College of Agriculture Technology, Vaigeda, that is in Tel. Then Komaraguru Institute of Agriculture, Sakti. Next one. So like there are 29 private agriculture colleges. So if you wish, if you are interested, you can just visit tnau.ac.in website, or I can send them. Right. So like that, there are 29 private agriculture colleges offering BSc Horns Agriculture and Horns Horticulture. Right. Next one. Next. Yeah. So there are 65% of total seats in the affiliated colleges are filled by TNA. So there are 29 affiliated colleges, 29 agriculture colleges. 65% of total seats will be filled by in general counseling. That needs nativity requirement. And 35% of total seats in the affiliated colleges are filled by respective merit. However, the candidates must have TNAU online admission procedure. Though it is private college, so that since it is stated in TNAU, so apply through TNAU only. They have to go through TNAU. They have to apply only one application, that is enough for government colleges as well as private colleges. For minority institutions, 50% seats will be filled by TNAU and another 50 by management. So these seats filled in under management quota or TNAU approval. Right. Next one. Next. So what's eligible for undergraduate programs for agriculture, forestry, sericulture, biotechnology, and for agribusiness management? They have the group on mathematics, physics, chemistry, and biology, or physics, chemistry, biology with any one of the fourth subject like biotechnology, microbiology, poetry, computer science, and home. And group 2A physics, chemistry, botany, and zoology. So these are all subjects they have to study for BSc Horns Agriculture. And in category 2, BSc Horns Food, Nutrition, as well as dietetics. Eligibility is mathematics, physics, chemistry, and biology, or physics, chemistry, biology with any one of the subject, biology, microbiology, biochemistry, and home science or nutritional or dietetics. Or they can take physics, chemistry, botany, and so these are all the eligibility subjects. And for category 2, for BTech Agriculture Engineering, BTech Food Technology, and BTech Environmental Engineering, um, they should have taken the subjects like mathematics, physics, chemistry, and biology, or mathematics, physics, chemistry, and right. So for category the engineering based courses, they have to study mathematics or computer science. So these are all some of the eligible minimum marks for open count. So that is 55% aggregate, BC 50%, and for MBC 45%, and SC/ST, that is a pass in qualification. And age, they shouldn't have completed the age of 21 years on the first day of July. So that's for PSES. So the advertisement will come within a week or fortnight for this year. Right. Next one. See, not only the seats are, there are some special reservation also for differently abled person. There are 5% seats available for differently abled person, and 6 ex-servicemen for BSc Horns Agriculture, and 1 seat for horticulture, and 1 seat for agriculture engineering. So this is reservation for ex-servicemen. And for freedom fighter, that is descendants of freedom fighter, 1 seat is reserved. And for sports person, 4 seats are reserved. Next one. And for Indian Council of Agriculture quota. So that Indian Council of Agriculture Research conduct examination, all India level examination. So through that examination, the 15% seats are reserved for CSIR quota. So through that national level entrance examination in agriculture, horticulture, forestry, as well as in agriculture engineering. Next one. Yeah. So other than these general quota, there are industry sponsorship as well as India, that is NRI quota also. So for industry sponsorship, a member of the agri-business consortium of TNA can nominate only for admission of undergraduate programs. So the candidates of Indian nationality alone are eligible for this industrial sponsorship. Public or private limited industry directly related to agriculture manufacturing or production related activities can sponsor once in 4 years. Right. So he can sponsor only once in 4 years. So the industry willing to sponsor the candidate must be registered in Companies Act and produce the following documents. The next one is where NRI quota. The candidate can be non-resident Indian or direct relative of non-resident Indian. The fees structure is a little more compared to general quota. So this industrial sponsorship as well as NRI, the fees is little more than next one. Next one. Here the system of education in agriculture is the medium of is English, and the university is course credit system. So all undergraduate programs are 8 semesters, that is 4 years duration. An enrolled student in our bachelor degree, they have to get the minimum average of 6.5 out of 10. So this is the system of education in Tamilnadu University. Next, the selection process is done through online counseling. The online counseling will also be conducted for special groups like eminent sports person, ex-serviceman. So there is a separate counseling for uh, for every special reserve. Next. So the fee structure for BSc Horns Agriculture, if it is in science, the one time that is the fees would be about 20 to 25,000. So this is the last year fees. So that may vary this year. So that is about 25,000, and one time payment at the time of admission. So totally they have to pay about 30 to 35,000 for, and for technology stream is about 70,000. So this is for your constituent college, and for your private college. Next slide. Private colleges. For affiliated colleges, the tuition fees 70,000 per year is to be paid by candidates in management quota. So instead of 40,000, they have to pay 70,000. Right. So this is the science, the role of science involved in agriculture, and the awareness about getting in Tamil Nadu University. If any doubts and queries, the forum is for discussion.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you. Thank you so much for throwing light on the importance of crop management, agriculture, and rural development, bringing out the technology from laboratory to land, which indeed is the need of the hour, and various scopes for students in the field of agriculture and science, and various scholarships available. Thank you so much, sir. So, on behalf of the organizing committee of the two-day conference, management, and the entire fraternity of NIRMALA College for Women, at the foremost, I thank God Almighty for bestowing His choicest showers of blessing for this good start of the day. I extend my heartfelt thanks to our honorable guests of honor for sharing with us your years of research, your depth of understanding, your experiences and thoughts to celebrate science in an interesting way that has made this day a memorable one. A special note of thanks to Dr. Mary Josephine, former Dean of Academics, Nirmala College for Women, and currently the Principal St. Joseph's College, Tirupur, and State Science Council member of Vijnana Bharati for initiating the conference. At an outset, I extend my most sincere thanks to our Secretary, Reverend Sister Dr. Ruby Alankara Mary, our Principal, Reverend Sister Dr. Helen, our Vice Principal, Reverend Sister Dr. Mary Fabiola, for stimulating, guiding, and encouraging us to do our best. My heartfelt thanks to our Controller of Examinations, Reverend Sister Dr. Imelda Mary, Dean of Academics, Mrs. Valencia Kamal, Dean of Student Affairs, Dr. U. Mary, the IQAC Coordinator, Dr. Pauline Vasanthi Joseph, for supporting us in all our endeavors. I am indeed grateful to all the participants for your participation. Hope to meet you all on the second day of the conference tomorrow at 10 a.m. Thank you, one and all. I conclude by the words, you don't build the future, you build people, and those people build the future. Thank you, one and all.